or when they leave effing off. So I'm going to do introductions of our regular crew first, and then I'll introduce our awesome guests here. Tonight we have the Mistress of Makeup, Andrea D'Amico.
Oh, hi, it's me. Yes. I'm drinking tea out of a green lantern glass.
Is it green tea?
No, just green lantern tea. And with the makeup, it is Unique Cosmetics.
And then we also have the Emperor of Emphasis, Ed Summers.
What up, people?
Hello.
I'm drinking Granny Smith Bull Rock Hard Cider.
Oh.
I'm vaping apple tobacco. And my wife wanted me to munch on something healthy during the show, so I'm munching on mangoes.
Nice. Dried mangoes or fresh?
Fresh. You just cut them up, put them in the fridge.
Nice.
And then we have the Countess of Creativity, Elizabeth Pasieczny. Pasieczny. Damn it.
Yeah, that chick.
Close enough. All right, good evening, everyone from New York. To this evening in an international reaching out of peace, I will be drinking a Russian beer called Baltica. Cheers. And as always, water, water, water. We love water.
There we go. Now, our guests who have, I don't even know how to phrase, were forced on, gladly came on. It depends who we're talking to. We have the crazy couple of celluloid, Katha and Don Cato.
Hey, guys.
24 carats.
Hey! Only two, you cheap monkey. So,
Welcome
what are your
aboard.
vices tonight? What are you drinking or otherwise doing?
Italian, bubbly, whatever it is, delightfully tasting white stuff.
And I'm drinking tea with a heavy amount of ginger and lemon.
Ah.
Now, when we were doing the check earlier, you were a bit closer to the mic, and now you're a bit further away. Is there any way we could have you move a little closer? Thank
Sure.
There you
Thank you.
We'll move
Now
the
we hear you.
computer closer to us.
you. Either way.
Oh, 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 oh,
Oh gosh. Okay.
For those of you that knew, I'm Travis Sivart. I'm the host, and tonight I am having a Bloody Mary with a little too much hot sauce in it in my plus 10 Charisma Gaming pint glass.
All right.
So we got that going, and I will be smoking, but I totally forgot to grab something, so there's no cigars or pipes here.
Back there to smoke with.
Hmm?
You do have something back there to smoke
I
with.
do.
There's two pipes. We need an opening toast.
We do need an
A
opening
toast.
toast.
Big toast.
Here's to the creativity that we have forever thanks to filmmakers.
Hey, here.
Salute.
So, for all our hot toddies that are watching, what are you guys drinking, smoking, or whatever you're partaking of tonight? Let us know. And hello to Skipper and Lady Skipper, who has joined us already. And I think that's all we have
Hi,
at the
y'all.
moment. The rest are
How
strolling
y'all
in.
doing?
But anyhow,
I can't see the chat. It's too far away.
it's still too. I made it big. I rubbed it.
Yeah, sure
Oh.
you did.
So anyhow, shall we just get right in with educating ourselves about film festivals?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, I have a really basic, what I like to call an idiot question, though. You know, it's acceptable that there's very few stupid questions. I'll not say none. So what is a film festival about? Why would somebody want to go to one?
Go for it.
They're going to cut me. They got scissors.
The reason someone would want to go to a film festival is to see films that you maybe not able to see anywhere else. Smaller films, very personal films, films from all over the world, different kinds of films. I think independent films are very personal because they're not a big, huge budget. So people are really honing down into what they know. And so I think that they resonate. And I think that people enjoy that. It's a different experience than going to see like a big Hollywood studio film, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But a smaller film or a series of short films from Bulgaria and then Croatia and then West Africa and then Corona and then Virginia with all of the films maybe dealing with the same things is very interesting. And I think it brings us together.
Well, also, we can, to build on that, It's an event where you can see that someone from Africa has the same kind of personal issues that they do from anywhere else. In other words, we're all human beings. It just so happens to be we're from different places.
And at a film festival too, you'll meet the filmmakers.
That's always nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, what's it like? See, I've done conventions, I've done all kinds of stuff. Okay, hold on. Or you want to go before me? Either way, go ahead. Go.
I want to know, where are they typically held? Because when I think of a film festival, what pops in my head is like Woodstock. So is it in a field at night?
Well, here you go. I forgot to choose something. Go.
Well, in our particular case, we screen at the Museum of the Moving Image in Astoria, which is the home of motion pictures here in the United States, initially back in the 20s. And we also screen at Kaufman Astoria Studios, which is the largest sound stage on the East Coast. Now, typically, most film festivals screen anywhere from normal everyday theaters in your neighborhood to retrofitting schools, churches, gymnasiums, or whatever they have available in the community. So Woodstock, as you mentioned, as a film festival, they tend to screen in several screens in and around Woodstock, New York. It's a festival that's been around for quite a while. Other film festivals, for example, in Boulder, Colorado, what they do there is that they have a series of, they have tents, churches, schools, and you have to take a bus and a shuttle, which takes you around to all of the venues. So it depends. If you come to Tribeca here in New York, then it's about 12 or 13 theaters in Lower Manhattan. Which is same as Toronto. It's probably 10 theaters in and around downtown Toronto. Sundance, not only do they screen in Park City, but they screen in Provo, they screen in Salt Lake City, and that's 45, 50 miles apart.
Oh.
It can be anything to putting up a screen in the middle of nowhere.
Now, are there other things going on during the film festival? Are there panels? You mentioned meet the directors and the creators of the films. So
we're in our 8th year, and it's been a micro budget. So our focus has always been the films. So we have done panels in the past, and because filmmakers like to go out on Friday nights and sometimes can't get up at 10 o'clock on a Saturday.
Or a Sunday.
Or any day, Elizabeth. And by the way, Elizabeth's film has screened with us in the big, beautiful Redstone Theater at the Museum of the Moving Image. And it's quite an honor to, there's thousands and thousands of people in the entertainment business that you've never met, and they are contributing to the cultural fabric of our country. So, and that's Elizabeth, that's you, that's a lot of people. So to be able to get those kinds of filmmakers into that museum is really an astonishing accomplishment, really. And that's one of the things we're really excited about. The festival is matching filmmakers up with this incredible facility.
Now, if I can interrupt real quick. Ian, Skipper, Lady Skipper, Mo, thanks for following. Dropsome, thanks for joining us again today. If you guys have any questions for these guys, these are the folks who run the Queens World Film Festival. I got that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Feel free to ask them any question you like. And if you're from anywhere that's not the U.S., or else even if you want to mention your city and state in the U.S., part of their film festival is it's being inclusive, it's the diversity, etc. So feel free to mention things that resonate with you in that aspect. And ask them any question you want, from basic to complicated.
If you mention what state you're at or where you're from, country, state, whatever, they'll let you know if there's a film in their festival from there.
Application. So far, we've served 81 countries, 81 nations have contributed films over the last 8 years.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And Virginia.
Hell yeah.
I feel like we have another film from Virginia, don't we? I feel like there was somebody.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
On the
You can't get rid of the Virginians. We've had 7 presidents. You can't get rid of us. All right. So, what makes your festival? What makes the Queens World Film Festival so special?
Well, I think what makes it really super special is Dawn's curation, because at a lot of festivals you'll have it's a stacked schedule. They just start screening one right after the other. And Dawn curates the entire festival thematically in 2-hour blocks. So he starts to group all these different kinds of films from all over the world together, and then we find kind of an evocative name, and then we assign a host. So each block has its own screening event. And we like to say that we don't do red carpet, we do full houses, because red carpets sell clothes. They don't really sell the films, and at our festival, the films are the stars.
It's true. And if I may, I've participated in the festival and experienced the festival from many different angles, and I have yet to find a film festival anywhere else in the world where the respect and the admiration and absolute joy of film is celebrated. And it's an extraordinary experience, and I highly encourage anyone who's got any time to come out and see this fest. It's a tremendous experience.
Thank you. My goodness, thank you.
Few comments from the crowd. Sorry to interrupt. Ian says he used to attend local film fests. He's in Pennsylvania, by the way. Original indie types and golden age films. Sometimes there'd be a French or German film. And then Lady Skipper out of North Carolina says she's worked in many film festivals at Carolina Theater in Durham.
Yeah, nicely done.
And Ian is also talking about his local defunct film theaters have been restored and mostly used for Film Fest, plus drive-in theaters provide for more than just first-run films.
A drive-in theater. Oh.
We're going next weekend.
We have a great one down here. It's wonderful. But what question did you have?
Oh, this is what I wondered, because we always say, won an award at a film festival. Who votes on them? How do they get voted on? What's the process?
Don and his screening committee this year was Crystal McIntosh and Jason Stefaniak, but Jason had to leave and go do something else. So they watched all 611 films. They were all scored. They were all rated, and they all had notes. And then he curated out of that. And then they went with their guts to do some nominations. And then after they had done the gut, they then compared it to the numbers. Then he went back and just really tried to see where they were with the numbers. And in most categories, there's about 9 in the shorts and things like that, which is comparable to the Academy Awards. And then there are selected experts in different fields that Don's brought in to judge certain categories. But then some of the categories are decided by Don, and we're unapologetic. It's our festival. And you know, there's 10,000 festivals that you can go to. So we're honored when you submit to us, and this is the package that you're submitting, and we think you get a good bang for your buck. So, and if he says your film is good, then that's good enough for me.
So wait, let's just, I'd like to reiterate, if I could go back to my previous statement, how many films have you watched this year, Don?
I personally watched about 500.
500.
Wow.
500.
So you must be
films.
like a popcorn hater by now.
Well, I wish most of them, you can't do anything else while you're watching these movies, because you can't, it's hard to, you can't eat, you have to focus on them, because,
Right.
you know, the enjoyment comes after you've made the decision to have it in the festival. And one of the great thrills I have is after I have a selected film to go see it on a big screen.
Nice.
I mean, that's really nice. I never get to see all of them, but when I like to pop into a screening, I see it on a big screen, and I go, oh, it's gorgeous.
There it is.
And you know that filmmaker who's been working on a monitor this size, you know, and just working, and they've just given everything to get this piece of art out in the world. And they sent it to us, and, you know, we have to make tough decisions. But the 189 this year, you just know that there's 189. We're 10 days away right now. So there's 189 people that are just like, they're just, you know, they're hoping with everything that people love it. And it's a great way to experience the world at our age. It's a great way to experience people from all over the world
And see what their culture and social situation.
I have a few more comments from our viewers tonight, as well as a question. First, I want to say thank you to Syrinx. Glad to see you here, buddy. It was great seeing you last weekend. Thanks for following and joining us tonight. Skipper says, I used to work at Double Take Documentary Film Festival, Nevermore Film Festival, Horror and Gothic, Retro Phantasma Film Festival, and North Carolina Gay and Lesbian Film Festival, and several others.
Oh, wow.
Then Mo has a question for you. Mo asks, I'm brand new to all of this. What sort of categories / groupings might we see at your festival or other festivals? Yeah, I know. You just mentioned a lot.
Well, we have, it's narrative shorts, narrative features, documentaries, LGBT, animation, experimental, and then if you want to submit it and you don't know what your category is, we'll find one for you.
So all genres are welcome.
And everything is welcome.
But then in the themes, it's what's presented to them. We have a question there. Yes, you. Miss.
Young lady in the back.
How does someone go and watch the films at a festival? Do they buy tickets? Do they sign up?
Oh, yeah.
Well, how do they do this with yours?
They go to the QueensWorldFilmFestival.com. Oh, my God in heaven. You are separated from birth. Oh, my God. Really? I almost had him convinced that was not an acceptable practice.
We're at the tavern.
Don't put it away. Don't put it away. We got to do a mutual. We got to do.
Post the link to the film festival. Oh, there you go. You want to see what mine says on it?
Yes, please.
Sure.
He's got to write something. Hold on.
What did I do with my Sharpie?
Sharpie's in the cup.
I pulled one out that's got the fat tip. Oh, well, mine says nothing for now.
Give it a minute.
That's funny. Yes, you go to QueensWorldFilmFestival.com. You can sort the films by genre. You can sort them by country. You can sort them by day. You can sort them by block. And then when you click on the name of the film, it'll take you to a place where you hit buy tickets. And just remember, you're buying a block. So the block may have a different name than the name of the film that you got interested in. So some people kind of go, it's not the same. Well, that's the block name. Or you can come down and hang out and walk around and pop into screenings, buy tickets. We're going to have an app, and I think we went live today, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do with an app yet. Uh-oh.
Okay, it's off.
So is there, like, if you wanted to wander in and out willy-nilly, is there, like, a group ticket you can get, or is it all individual? Okay.
It's a group ticket.
It's willy-nilly.
And Willie and Nilly will both be there.
They're little scamps, that Willie and Nelly.
They are.
Very silly.
Also, because we met several filmmakers of indie films at a convention we went to, Mysticon in Roanoke, Virginia. How would one submit a film to your festival next year?
Question. If you go to withoutabox.com or filmfreeway.com, those are two platforms that really will take care of you and help you enter festivals. I would say to every filmmaker, you must do your homework. Don't just stand back from the barn and try to blast it and hope you hit something. You know, do your research and find out the festival that maybe has the niche of films that you're looking for, or a time of year that pertains to you. Everybody wants to get into Tribeca and South by Southwest and Toronto and Sundance. You know, okay, they're expensive to get into, and when you get to a certain level, you have a shot at it. If you don't have a star in your film, and you don't know anybody, but it's a brilliant film, you need to get your foothold in other regional festivals and start to spread that word of mouth and use that film as your resume for your next big jump.
Just remember, when you submit to Sundance, they get about 14,000 submissions.
Wow.
So you have to just stop and think a minute what are my chances, and is it realistic? It's always worth submitting. It's whatever. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You never know, but just there's not enough people in the state of Utah to watch 14,000 films.
So there's a fee to enter to apply?
Yeah, there's a submission fee, and there are festivals who charge no submission. And they don't get serious submitters.
I got you, yeah.
Right? But our fees are low, and we keep them low. And one year, we even reduced them in mid-season just because the economy was having a tough time. But it does, we have to be compensated for the time of screening 611 films, because unless you just want him to be playing it while he's going out the door to earn some money, you need to look at it. We need to have that.
When you say low fees, what does that range?
I think we start at 25. I think we start at 25, and they make you raise it. They make you have these different deadlines on Without a Box, and you have to raise it by something. I think we went from 25 to 45 at the end. Yeah.
That's not bad.
$45.
That's cheaper than submitting a college application.
That's true.
Ooh, that's a good point. That's a really
Okay.
good.
So people who come to your festival, what experience or what do you want them to take away with them after they leave?
Well, the marketing and promoting answer would be, we would like them to experience and be have an experience with the films and love them and become an indie lover and come back. I don't really care if you love the films. Sometimes art can irritate you and can upset you and can rub your nose.
Create an emotion.
Yeah.
And that friction, we've become intolerant to that friction. We've become intolerant to not liking you. If you do something I don't like, I cannot stand that, and I may have to kill you. So
it's like family.
Exactly. It's like Thanksgiving. So I enjoy a screening when there's a lot of different attitudes and beliefs and types in the room, and that there's a lively conversation, and that they go around the corner and have a bowl of soup and a glass of wine and continue to argue.
Yeah.
I call it
artsy.
It is
artsy.
Well, art, art is meant to provoke.
Right. No, I meant the bowl of soup and a glass of wine together.
Well, maybe I don't know.
I'll tell you what, though, from all the films I've seen quite a few films at the Queens World Film Festival, and I'll tell you what, yes, they may disturb you. Yes, they may, you may enlighten you or thrill you or emotionally scar you, but all of them are amazingly beautiful and of tremendous quality. So, and that's
Elizabeth was a projectionist for a while, also with us, and has a T-shirt saying "I survived," and I won't say the name of the film.
I'll do it.
Well, let's not do that to the poor filmmaker, because
it's beautiful.
It is a beautiful shirt. And the director asked me about that shirt and was so excited, and he's begged me to get him a shirt.
Then we have to, because you know what? We're opening the festival with his new experimental film. And
Bring it out,
like that. It's nothing like this last one.
Yeah.
What is an experimental film? How is a film experimental?
Well, it is a misnomer. They're all experiments.
Right.
You hope it turns out okay. But something that maybe is non-linear. Maybe something that is more experiential. Maybe something that...
would Cloud Atlas be considered experimental?
Cloud Atlas?
Okay, so you haven't seen that one. It was a Tom Hanks film, and it was definitely non-linear and more experience-based. What do we got here?
Death Drive.
There you go. That's a nice shirt. And we do have a question or a comment here on the... let's see here.
The first one was funny.
Skipper, in reference to what should you take away from the film festival, Skipper says, I had one guy try to take away my theater seats. Even added...
That's funny. Skipper, congratulations and my condolences for being involved with film festivals. Yeah.
He's done a lot in his time. I tell you, he's a sound guy also. And
sound. One of the most important things with independent films.
Yeah.
Most independent films, the sound
Needs a little help.
needs a little help.
I got a question too.
Ian had a comment if I may, Elizabeth.
Go ahead.
Ian says, we used to do something like a film fest on Welcome to Steampunk with weekly uploads of steampunk genre or genre-like films. Found some really weird films in the search.
I bet.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, all right. So how can, people are interested in film, maybe they want to support the fest. How can they get involved or help out?
Oh,
There's a couple of different ways. You can contact us through the festival at info@queensvillefilmfestival.com, and we can point you in the right direction to volunteer, host one of the screenings, come down and help us with outreach, all the way up to you can make a donation on the website. You can hit that red button and you can hit donate, and those keep the other programs going. We do the youth program, which Elizabeth works in, where we go into schools and we do films with kids. And then we also have the free encore screening series where we go into parks and community centers and churches and rooftops and all sorts of places and play films for free.
Don't you have a sponsor for the young filmmakers this year?
Yes, we do. The New York Community Bank this year came in to help us this year. Why, thank you, Elizabeth.
Absolutely, Mrs. Cato.
Thank you.
and the encore screenings are sponsored by Council Member Jimmy Van Bremer.
Ah, very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
And you said you could get group tickets or mass tickets.
Yes.
Or you just can go to anything.
So they're 15. So if you want 10, we can. Those on the website on brown paper tickets that you go through our website are $100. So that's a $50 savings. And QWFF 8 is the friends and family code that everybody can use.
There you go.
Let's write that down.
We won't tell anybody.
QWFF 8.
Yeah, we won't tell anybody that didn't watch the show.
So we have questions for you.
Oh.
If you could do a movie of your life, what would the name of it be?
Oh.
That's a good show. I'll take it.
You guys know each other, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to
Oh,
tell
of
you.
our life or your
You're
what?
the two of you.
So we start with Ed. Ed, what would you call the movie of your life?
That guy again.
What about you, Elizabeth?
Can I change my order, please?
Oh.
Andrea?
I don't know, but there'll be cats.
That's good.
There'll be cats.
That's good.
like the Broadway show Cats, or like
no.
actual cats?
We have 8 cats.
There will be cats.
There will be cats.
There will
There will be. And I guess for me is, it didn't exist, so I made it happen.
Ooh.
Like this show.
Yeah, it's kind of the story of my life, how the show, how the books that I've published, how even as a teen activities, it didn't exist, so I made it happen.
That's great. Good time.
Who set that example, or was that just something that was in you?
It must have been in me because my family and surrounding support system was the polar opposite of that. Yeah. So
Skipper says his would be Strange. It would be titled Strange.
That works well.
Okay.
I've had enough for now.
I would
Continued.
I would have one called The Pressing Season.
Ooh.
Oh, you're so smart.
I was on a small farm. We raised, among other things, grapes.
Okay.
Mine would be called The End of Julia Road.
Yeah.
Because I lived at the end of Julia Road when I was growing up. The road ended, and then you had to go a little bit further till you got to my house.
It could also be a murder mystery about Miss Rhodes and how she died. The end of Julia
I
Rose.
didn't want to say anything, but maybe
We know
that's a
nothing.
good idea too.
Don't know who's watching.
Dorothea says only loosely based on reality would be her title.
Oh, that's great.
What is it?
Dorothalia says only loosely based on reality.
Ah.
And Lady Skipper says stranger together.
Ah. You have a cat right out of your head.
I do.
He's got a knife.
Yeah, within
Don't
arm's
forget.
reach, we have 3 or 4.
I think that's the name of your movie is There Will Be Cats.
Will be cat.
There will be cats.
Yeah, okay, works for me.
I see it.
I'll do all the costumes for it.
Excellent.
Oh, there's one.
All right, so what are you looking for this fest? What is the?
What?
Is there a film or a moment that you're looking forward to this year?
For me, there is. Is it for you?
Besides the end.
Several moments.
I think there are several. One is for me is the Kids Corner, where we're screening 13 films by kids
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
in the big room in the big, beautiful Redstone world famous theater. And I know that all of these parents have no idea that their kids want to be artists. And I think it could be life-changing for some of these 5th graders and 6th graders and 7th graders. But I also want to let the parents know that if your kid wants to be an artist, it's going to be okay.
Maybe
Not
but
profitable, but it'll be okay.
Well, it might be profitable. I mean, some hit it,
Yeah.
But there are thousands of us out here who have put our kids through college and done everything we're supposed to do. It lived in the arts our whole life. And
had cats.
There will be cats. There were cats. Then the sequel is There Were Cats.
There were cats. Yes.
And then the dogs came.
Then the bad part, the third part, which is always horrible, will be called Chinese takeout.
How about you, Don? What are you looking forward to?
Well, there are several films. I can't give away any names, but there were some films that we nominated. And when our final judge came back with her scores, I was delighted that she was in the same ballpark I was. And I think that's really great because it's we really looked at cinema. Very just great cinema. And I think that's wonderful. And I can't wait to meet some of these people who made these films. And as a result, well, not so much as a result, but we have filmmakers who've committed to be here from Vietnam,
Australia,
Germany, Argentina,
Italy.
And that's wonderful just to see these people here. That's what I'm looking forward to, is to see these people.
I am too, yeah.
And a couple of them have been, one particular filmmaker, he's won here before. And he keeps surprising us every time.
Is he premiering here?
I think it
Raphael?
is.
I'm gonna look.
Raphael. Those Argentinians, they're pretty good.
They are very good.
And we had a Mexican who won an Oscar last night.
Yeah, you sure did.
Yes, he did.
If I may interrupt real quick. Now, I know you guys are on a limited schedule. How much longer can we expect to enjoy your company?
Well,
You can kick us off anytime.
Oh, no.
Oh, we won't kick you off.
No. It's an East Coast premiere. No, we're good. Unless you have something else to do.
Well, we do, but at 9 o'clock we do a part called This Week in History where we discuss historic and current events. So I just didn't want to surprise you with that since we didn't necessarily fill you in on the other parts of the show.
So,
I also want to say hello to a few more people who joined us. Talking Tally, great to have you here. Hope you're feeling better this week. Kevin, who is one of our co-hosts.
The Brit.
The Brit. Yeah, he had tech issues, so he's
Just chatting.
He's hanging out, but not on the show.
we have several great films from Great Britain this year.
Nice.
That was good.
Synced up.
nice.
We're like the boy band.
In sync. Got it. Yeah.
And Skipper does want us to let you know that if you need dinosaurs, he can arrange it. He does a lot of work with dinosaurs.
He has dinosaurs.
Wow, that's
He
incredible.
even has, what is it, a therapeutic dinosaur that has a vest. It's great.
That's really cool. A therapeutic dinosaur with a vest.
They know that dinosaurs are extinct, yes?
I
And they still hear us?
Not
They
a-
still
So
hear-
you thought.
No,
Not
no.
Not if they're from Great Britain.
Okay.
Oh, he's not from Great Britain. He's from North Carolina. So now you understand.
Oh.
No, I really don't.
No?
Okay, let's get the back scratcher.
Still haven't found my shirt. I think the cats took it.
They did.
I don't know. Yeah, I do that too. Part my hair with it.
Oh, that's
I have to go get more tea. She looks empty too.
I'm going to go get some more tea. I do have to send out press credentials this evening. So I am going to bid adieu.
Oh,
Do you have any final thoughts about the festival? Or
yes, or anything that we didn't cover that you would like to talk about.
I do have a question. What's the painting with the guy with his back to us?
That's really cool.
He's at a bar.
Yeah, it's just above the Talk of the Tavern sign, and you've probably
Cool.
seen it. It's a set, but yes, he's in front of a 1930s type bar in his fedora with his...
Nice. Very cool.
Another half is over here. It's a woman at the other end of the bar
in a slinky dress back to you also, and
holding a martini.
you've probably seen this set at one of the many common places in the mall where you see all the paintings. But it
What's
went
a
well
mall?
with the theme. A mall, it's a malt without the T at the end. It's Spanish for bad.
It's where
It's where
zombies go to die.
People in jogging suits walk.
That's true.
Okay.
Do they have dinosaurs there and vests?
Service
Yes.
dinosaurs. We were corrected, by the way. Service dinosaurs.
I knew
A
that. I
service
just
dinosaur. Can you get a service dinosaur on a plane?
Well, if you order ahead of time, I'm
I
sure.
was thinking, oh, that was so good. I was working on something myself on that. That was very good. Oh, that was good. I couldn't get
It's
it
not
out
a
of my
kosher meal. It's
mouth. That
prehistoric.
was pretty funny. That's a dinosaur stein?
Oh.
I don't know. I think a stein is what you drink out of. Dinosaur is what you...
Oh, he read
Yeah,
that wrong.
We're going to just leave that one be. Well said, Kevin.
Did I upset somebody?
No, not at all.
It's a comment.
Let's try again.
What?
It's our usual audience with their sense of humor that we won't necessarily... We could leave it be, or we could bring it on if you want.
We can tell you.
They broadcast on a separate page, and people can type in questions and comments, and that's what they're reading off of.
I know this, but I'm
Okay.
wondering what it is that they're reading.
Okay.
All right.
Social Assassin says, Skipper just posted Service Dino. And
Okay.
Social Assassin, forgive me for this, says, I read that as Service Dildo. But then I would. That's our audience, guys. This is where we play to that crowd.
Death Drive. Death Drive.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Well, obviously time for me to be moving along.
All right, Katha.
But listen, Heidi ho to everybody, and thanks a lot for the support. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, best of luck
Thanks for
next
joining
week.
us.
Hope it goes smooth and swimmingly, or at least with no scarring.
No scars.
Elizabeth, we shall see you on Thursday when we go to work with the blessed little angels.
The lovely little children. And just so you know, Queens World Film Festival, what are the dates again?
Why, yes, it's March 15th through the 25th.
There we
You see
go.
the moving image
And Kaufman Astoria Studios.
right here in Queens.
Follow us on Facebook and love us in real life.
How much does that cost? And you can find
You
it
got
at
it, beautiful. Well done.
filmfestival.com. Okay.
That's
John,
I'm
you
just
staying
going
with
to
us,
scratch
or
myself away now.
come on, scratchy brother there.
Scratch. Scratch. Scratch.
Hmm.
Scratch. Scratch.
So, are you staying with us, Don, or are you also going off to do work?
Yeah, more work.
All right, Don.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us. You were a pleasure, and we will see you. Well,
We'll
on
see
the
you
big
again.
screen.
We'll see you again, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
I know.
Now, what you don't know about Don and Katha is they're both professionals in the industry. Katha is a SAG actress and has been in feature films, and Don has made feature films. She's a hoot. And I didn't get to say it because, we were kind of playing it a little straight, but I wanted to introduce them as the couple that, more often than not, they are capable of making me pee my pants from laughter.
That's them. Okay.
Yeah, they're working really hard.
Do you need to go change right now?
No,
okay?
Yeah, we didn't get rocking and rolling, but we will. We have to have them on again. They're a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and possibly on when they're not associated with the film festival. That way they can cut loose and we can be ridiculous.
We can be our show.
Give them little bandanas and code names.
We've had people that ask, Kevin, I hope you didn't actually exit stage left. I want to talk to you now, sir.
Yeah.
If you decide you can make it on, let us know. We'll work with you because now we don't have to be as professional. We can go back to our little kooky self.
And we saw that you were redeeming your cock.
Yes, we saw that.
That did not go unnoticed, sir.
Dizzy with his snake. All right, hang on. I got to get a drink.
I got to get a drink too, and Andrea has to get a drink. So, Andrea, go get your drink.
Entertain everybody.
And Ed and I'll chit chat.
And hurry up, because I got to get a drink.
Hey, Ed. Yeah, I figure when they get back, we'll go get our drinks. So, thanks for covering all the conversation there. I appreciate that.
Yeah, sure.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah, cool people. I didn't have many questions. I only want to know is there going to be food and beer? They said soup and wine, so I was good.
Okay. See, actually, and that's what I was looking at. Is there, food set up? Is there panels? And I'm still not sure. Did I miss it when they answered?
I just heard soup and wine. And I assumed that was for everybody and not just people that were showing their movies, because that was during that discussion part of it. So I could be wrong in that assumption. I might not get anything to eat or drink if I go there. So
that's true. Yeah, usually soup and wine is the food of the homeless.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin's cock is working fine, but he's on a mobile device.
Whether it's the big computer or the handheld, his cock is fine.
Is it a service cock?
But Elizabeth should be able to tell us, is there food and alcohol?
Okay. Why don't you go grab your drink, Ed, and I will stay here with Andrea.
Okay.
And we'll entertain the masses.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. When you get back, we'll talk about Kickstarter.
Well, since I am here and left on my own devices, let me talk a little bit about Unique Cosmetics. It's makeup stuff. I don't know if it's unique. It's awesome. This is what I'm wearing. So, stop it. There will be a review on Talk of the Tavern YouTube page. Be sure to check it out. When will it be up? Tomorrow? Next day? How long does that take?
We have it scheduled now. I believe it's Talk of the Tavern Thursdays. And Devnall, I know Kevin said hello, but hello, buddy. Glad to see you. I don't remember if I said it earlier or not. Hey, did you get your patch yet, man? I don't know if that got to you yet.
Oh, I can't get the keyboard. Can you type this in?
What am I typing? Hold on. I got to go back over here. What am I typing?
For all of y'all that are still paying attention to me, we are putting, I'm going to put the link in so you can order some lovely makeup.
What am I putting in?
See, you want me to do it? Give me the keyboard.
No, is that Cobra or Color?
COLO. Color.
Color, then an A, then rainbow.com?
Uh-huh. There we go.
Without my reading glasses, I couldn't see it, sweetie.
Oh, yeah,
Color, A.
Rainbow.
Rainbow.
Dora, I think you will really enjoy the review when it comes up, I hope.
So what do we get? What? I thank you, says him. Okay, Badumtis. Glad to see it. Glad you're liking the stuff. Skipper says typically panels after some of the films in the festival. How many varies? Okay, thanks, Skip. Appreciate it. Yes, and many thanks. Oh, she got her. Oh, Elizabeth, you got your ears in?
Hi.
Scratch your mic on your thing for me. Whatever.
Yeah, it works.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
With that, I'll be right back.
I noticed people in New York
Do this. They get it in their mouth and then they suck on it.
Ew. Why?
don't know.
That's weird.
I think they're unhappy. Yeah, I did this as soon as I got yours, but I haven't gotten it to you yet. So
That's okay. You'll have a box coming to you soon.
yeah, woohoo! All right.
Yeah.
How many pussies is a pussy movement behind you?
Yeah. That was Goblin. I don't know. They're everywhere.
Well, I'm impressed. 8. That's a lot. That's cool, though.
Vacuum every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, let's see. Social Assassin says, Elizabeth, you sounded like a Randy Dalek.
Well, thank you.
Although,
I'm not sure that's a compliment because those are so frightening as a child. My gosh. Exterminate.
yeah.
What would I say? Beat me.
No, the kids, are you my mummy? Those freak me out. With the gas mask.
Yeah, those are freaky. Those and Whispering Angels.
Weeping Angels.
Weeping Angels.
Yeah, they're like, nope.
Those are children. Children do that. Choom, choom, choom. You know, can't turn your backs on them.
Don't look.
Don't blink. Don't blink.
Oh. What am I? Oh.
Not now.
He's under the table. Oh, Doris says her daughter's stepmom and father have 14 cats.
14
Oh,
cats.
wow. That's Goblin. 14, I think that's just excessive.
8's okay. 14, crazy people.
We didn't mean for it to happen.
I was reading a book at school, and it said Ben Franklin was the 10th child of 17.
Wow.
I mean,
Cats are easier than children.
Can you imagine being pregnant for 17 years?
No, I can't.
I can.
Can you imagine putting up with the pregnant woman for 17 years?
Oh, no, I'd leave.
You sure he didn't keep replacing him?
Oh, my God. That's that poor woman. Jeez.
This is why birth control is very important.
That's right.
Kevin, I have 10 snakes and a cat with enormous balls. Now, I want to let you know, without the Oxford comma, that is a very different statement. Punctuation matters.
That's not funny.
It's like he's listing what he had for dinner. I have 10 snakes and a cat with enormous balls. It's like having a nice pasta with a nice red wine. I had a cat with enormous balls.
No, no.
Cat with enormous balls.
So now we're at the effing off part of the show?
No. I have questions for the film festival person amongst us.
Oh,
She's
still here.
I am here. Ask and you shall receive.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us more. What's
Okay,
your
what?
experiences at film festivals? How many different ones have you been
As a
to?
filmmaker, what is your experience?
Okay, you got 4 questions. Go.
Okay. My festival experience has ranged from. Okay. The best ones are you put down the ticket, you fly 3,000 miles across to the West Coast, you show up on a night that's maybe not the night of your film, but a night of films, and then they say, well, what are you doing here? Your film's not tomorrow night. Why are you here? Or they make you buy a ticket for another show after you've spent airline tickets and motel fees and this and that. The
Sounds
film
very
fest,
exciting so far.
film fest you go to because you're trying to get exposure. You're trying to get noticed. You're trying to get someone to see you. And you're going to do your best research you can. And some will be good and some will be bad. Queens World Film Festival is phenomenal. Loved it. There's a few other good ones out there. The Magnolia Film Festival was phenomenal. They're a smaller community. They only have one theater, but a lot of their board members are business people in the town. So they pick you up at the airport. They put you up free in a hotel. They pay for everything. They keep you busy. Fabulous festival. There's one in Durango, Colorado, another fabulous one. But the whole point is, it's the entertainment, the film industry is a very noisy place, especially with the invention of, you have your phone, you can make a film, an entire production company is right here in your hand. So it's become a very noisy place, and to get to a festival is a good way to have a captured audience, a lot of advertising, and a place to show your art. And it truly is art. I mean, you may be marketing it, you may have a thing, but it is art.
Do you find that there's producers that go to Film Fest to find the next big thing?
You got agents scouting you.
Yeah. Is it like with sports, college sports, do people go to these and
For the next big thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely, the bigger ones for sure. The Cannes Film Festival is a marketplace. You go there to sell your film. You're not going to go with a short. You're going to go with a feature. You're going to go with a package deal, ready to go.
What's that cost to apply to one of the bigger ones like Sundance or the Cannes?
Oh gosh, I haven't looked it up for this year, but
roundabout.
Between probably close to $100.
Oh, that's it?
Oh, I was thinking hundreds,
I was
almost
thinking
thousands.
yeah.
No. But remember, it's $100, and then it could be just no.
Right.
Or sometimes, I have never. Some festivals I was never notified that I did or didn't get in, and I've even won an award at a festival, and I was never notified.
Oh.
So I just said, "Well, okay, thank you."
Yeah, I was going to ask, do they accept all of them? Do they accept every film? No? Okay.
No,
Well,
because Sundance getting 140,000.
Well, I mean, they make...
Do your research. There are people that are just making money off the accepting your films in, the submission fees. And then, who knows. But I think anyone that gets into this industry as a filmmaker, you need to sit down and figure out what it is you're trying to accomplish. And if you think you're going to make a film and be the next Spielberg, if you are the next Spielberg, people will tell you that repeatedly. If you have to ask or convince yourself you are, you're probably not. It's a tough pill to swallow,
So...
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, with writers, you're not the next Stephen King, et cetera, et cetera.
Most people tell you. So is it better to go to these smaller film fests and get awards to get a little bit of recognition before you try the bigger ones?
I think so. A lot of times the bigger ones will only accept feature films. To make a feature film is an undaunting task. And I think in America we're spoiled. We don't appreciate what a miracle it is to get a film made, even at that higher professional level. It is an incredibly amount. I tell students, filmmaking is constant problem solving. If it's going to go wrong, it will go wrong, and you have to have A, B, C, D, E, F alternatives.
So what is considered a feature film? Like an hour and a half? Or
90 minutes. Generally, it's 80 to 120 minutes.
Oh, that's a lot.
So what if you got a 62-minute film?
And I write feature-length screenplays, and Pickleman films are only 20 minutes long. Was my longest so far. And it's a lot. And you have to have stuff to say, or you're going to lose people's interest. And remember, this device has lessened our attention span. How many times have you watched a movie or something on TV, and then you pick it up and you start looking at this? But the biggest thing is I want to encourage people is if you feel the need to make a film or you want to create art, do it. Life is so much better when you're creating. You'll be so much happier if you just express yourself in some form of matter. And it's not about how good you are. It's about getting it done and getting it out there. That's what's important here.
Ian said, I used to be very visible at Film Fest. Didn't appear in any films, but I was visible.
That's because he's a man of great stature.
And he had no pants on.
Pants are overrated.
Am I the only one that finds it a little odd that their promotion code is queefing 8 times?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, yep.
It's Quiff, not Queef.
Oh,
We
okay.
discussed this earlier.
It's
Queens Road
Queens
Film
Road
Festival.
Film Festival, and then the 8.
Yeah, sure.
But I get it.
Daddy. Yeah, daddy, lad. Daddy.
Welcome to the tavern.
The fun thing about being a filmmaker and going to Film Fest is you get to hang out with other filmmakers. You get to hang out with people who are introverts and obnoxious and twisted up, and you get to share techniques and strategies and just talk to your own kin.
I like sharing techniques.
Absolutely.
That's a different type of film.
Trust me, I have projected at 2 a.m. films that were
Oh, yeah.
It's a different category.
and they are good. What was that?
On social, I'm replying to comments. Do you have the Twitch page up? Can you see what they're saying?
No, I can't. My screen's too small. I'll get the
Okay.
dual monitors going here shortly.
It's all good.
Don't worry. Just check, and that way, yeah. When I'm interrupting you, usually it's them. If they're interrupting you, they made me.
It's their fault.
Social Assassin, when Elizabeth said people who use mobile phones during movies, I don't think she meant in public. I think she meant watching a movie at home, because he
At
commented.
home, you're watching a movie, and then you get that urge, and you pick this up like a cigarette, and you start looking. That's what I
Right.
mean.
Yeah. He was saying people who use mobile phones during movies should have their hands super glued to their seats.
I love you. Agreed. Give that man a cigar.
He's called people out. It's hilarious.
He's a badass. That's who that is.
No, I'm
It's-
very docile and shy, but for some reason, you answer your phone or fucking text and light up a theater with your phone.
During Avengers, no less.
I don't even realize I'm saying something before the words are out there.
It's great.
Oh,
What
I
is this?
realize I'm saying something that's not very pleasant.
Agreed.
We
Yeah.
don't even do that at home. We intentionally put our phones in the kitchen or something.
It depends what we're watching.
We're watching a
Like
movie.
watching Walking Dead, I'm okay with,
Just regular television, yeah. But
yeah.
when we pop a movie in,
Oh, yeah.
put that phone
Put it
someplace else. We won't even answer it when you call Travis. Sorry.
No, okay. Hey, I found it.
Ah!
It was under Fish's butt.
Told you the cat was on it.
But
Bum.
Oh, the back scratchers, the Lord.
And I tell you what, it's just like a con. It's really fun to meet the artists behind the work because then you get to talk to them, and
Oh, yeah.
it's tough. It's when I make
Listen,
films, I do everything. You know, people could say, "Oh, this is shitty. That didn't work," or "Yeah, but I did it all. I didn't hire someone to do it." And Don and Katha didn't mention it, but they had some people with a animated film in their festival a few years ago, and this year it was their 4th animated film. It was up for Best Animated Short. Yeah.
nice.
And it was the What About the Suitcase? I think it was called Negative Space or Limited Space. Or, of course, they went up against Glenn Keane, which a Disney animator extraordinaire. So, good luck.
Yeah.
So is the animation like computer animated
Yeah,
or is it animated like drawn?
I believe theirs was computer. I'm not sure. Glenn Keane's, I think, was hand drawn. So, I tell you, as a filmmaker, the frustrating. As a animator who's animated her own films, it's frustrating to go to a festival, invest all the money getting there, hotels and etc. And to lose your category because the person who won had $1 million budget and 70 people on crew. That's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow.
No. We've had a few things. Oh, yep. Hold on.
Okay.
Ian said the Raimis were one of the weirdest successes for their projects. Not sure they would have been without Bruce Campbell. Kevin, Sam Raimi. He did Evil Dead. He did
I knew it
the
sounded
first
familiar.
Spider-Man movie. Anyhow, Kevin says
Social assassin.
he has redeemed an Ed rant on mobile phones, but it is also time for This Week in History.
This week in history.
So, Ed, what happened this week in history?
This week in history. Shit happened, y'all. May 4th, 1952. This is one of my favorite books by this author. That's the reason why I threw this in here. Author Ernest Hemingway finishes The Old Man and the Sea. Love that book.
I have never read it, but I do live by his philosophy of write drunk, edit sober.
Good for you.
Now, drunk is not necessarily the right word, but
After you've had a drink.
make sure you are relaxed and able to, hyper focus and let your creativity flow, whatever it takes to do that for you.
March 4th, 1829.
Is she on her phone? I think she's on her phone.
No.
Yeah.
No,
sorry.
I'm touching myself.
March 4th, Ed, go on.
March 4th, 1829. President Andrew Jackson has one hell of a house party. Following his swearing in as president, Jackson followed a tradition started by Thomas Jefferson by opening the doors to the White House to the public. In a short time, more than 20,000 people crowded in and around the White House. They rummaged through rooms, broke dishes and crystals, and even some danced on the furniture. In an attempt to lure the crowd out of the White House, huge wash tubs of juice and whiskey were bought and set up on the White House lawn.
Oh, wow.
This, Ed, you could just take this whole thing and go put it in the We Didn't Start the Fire, where people are talking about, our generation. No, every generation did shit like this, and every
hell yeah.
fast people. So when we're like, people didn't used to riot over stupid shit. That's a fucking riot you're talking about right there.
That's stupid shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's apparently Philadelphia won. So there we go.
In pop history this week, 25 years ago, Beavis and Butthead premiered.
Wow.
On MTV.
I had the magical Julio.
I remember that.
And 33 years since Thundercats premiered.
Yes.
Thundercats.
The Barbie doll turns 59 this week.
All that plastic surgery.
Yeah, she's hanging in there. Looking good. 29 years ago, Chippendale Rescue Rangers premiered on the Disney Channel.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Chippendales Rescue.
I was just trying to remember how the theme went. I couldn't remember.
There you go.
August, sometimes some crime goes slipping through the cracks, but these two gumshoes. Dun, 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 dun. There's no case too big, no case too small. When you need help, just call Chippendales Rescue Rangers.
Oh.
Now, gummy bears. Gummy bears. Here, there, and everywhere. Beyond adventure without compare.
Whiskey's kicking in.
I haven't had any whiskey.
Okay.
What else you got, Ed?
33 years ago this week, Panasonic released its Omni Vision VHS VCR with wireless remote control.
Ooh.
And
Price
Thundercats.
tag on that bad boy was $435.
Wow. Now it's like $20.
So how many of us think Chitara slept with everybody? But like Panthro best. Because he was hung like a panther. Black Panther.
The Black Panther.
You get what I mean?
And 29 years ago, Tom Clancy's The Hunt for Red October was released in theaters.
It was okay.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's when Baldwin was skinny.
Yeah, Little Baldwin.
And before he lost his mind.
Oh.
You got some current events, Travis?
I do. Now, the Oscars being last week, there
That was
was...
yesterday.
Last night, apparently.
I don't know when it was. I just know it was sometime before today.
It was
That's all I
yesterday.
know.
Did anybody watch it?
No.
We don't have TV, so no.
We don't have... But, so anyhow, Gary Oldman won the Best Hour...
Who's that?
You're on a timeout. Gary Oldman...
Spanker.
Oh, I thought she said bang her. Like, wow, she wants to go back to that 2 a.m. filmmaking, doesn't she? She's aggressive. So anyhow, Gary Oldman wins the Best Actor for Darkest Hour, where he plays Winston Churchill.
I want to see that.
And the only reason this is of note to me is Gary Oldman, every time he appears in a different film, he is such a different person. For example, he's been in Dracula, Batman Begins, and that trilogy as Commissioner Gordon, Fifth Element as the villain, Hitman's Bodyguard as the villain, Sirius Black and Harry Potter. And yeah, he just plays this.
He's so good at being the character, I can never remember who the actor is.
It's true. I agree. Here. If you said, only reason why I recognize Gary Oldman was because I just saw a clip on YouTube. Like, oh, there's Gary Oldman.
Right.
You're right. Fifth Element, he was phenomenal.
He was good in Batman, too.
He even got a rocket launcher.
Now, this one is only going to get a mention, but thousands signed a petition wanting a national holiday for Reverend Billy Graham.
Is it douchebag holiday?
Now, Elizabeth, I know you have a Catholic background. How do you feel about Reverend Billy Graham getting a national holiday?
Well, he did commit his life to
Profit.
doing good and spreading the word. And, I don't know. Why not? He made a lot of changes. He brought a lot of awareness to people. He brought a lot of peace to people. He lived a life where he wasn't taking in billions of dollars in these fake churches. I mean, he really did his role in spreading the word. I don't have a problem with it. I wish more people lived a life where they were held accountable by a higher power that could send your ass to hell if you screwed up.
But hell doesn't exist in the Christian mythology.
Okay.
Not in the
Let's
Bible.
play that game. Hell exists here and now. I see people in hell every day.
Sure. Now I could go with that. Absolutely. But, yeah. I
But
just
imagine living your life and listening to anyone with a problem. Or, I mean, people came out by the hundreds of thousands to listen to this guy talk. And he wasn't saying, love me or love the song I wrote. He was talking about somebody else and being good to your neighbor. I mean, that's extraordinary. It's an unbelievable power. What? I didn't hear.
Don't you do that?
Don't I do that? Yeah, but hundreds of thousands of people don't come to listen to me. I think I got maybe 300.
Not yet.
You got lucky.
Maybe.
It's good marketing.
But as a Christian, we're all sinners. We're all screwed up. So I don't have a problem with it. I think it's really neat. It's nice to see people do good. It truly is. And you know what? And if I may bring up this point, since the whiskey's kicking in, last night I didn't see the Academy Awards. I was busy cleaning and organizing. But then I, this morning, got up and watched YouTube clips and this and that. And Glenn Keane's famous animator from Disney is doing independent, kind of independent animations now. He did something it's called About Basketball. I guess Kobe Bryant's in it. I haven't seen it yet, but they won Best Animated Short. Now, Glenn Keane comes out, they win the award, and Kobe Bryant's with him. Okay. Glenn Keane has always been inspirational to up-and-coming animators. He comes out to schools, and he talks to people, and he's very inspiring, and he's a really neat guy. And he gets on stage, he accepts the award, and he talks about people driving for their passion, working hard, never giving up, and your dreams can come true. Lovely moment. And then Kobe Bryant makes a snarky comment to a political statement that was said earlier, blah, 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 blah. And I think that's quite a moment to behold there. You have two magnificent celebrities who have the moment and who have a spotlight. And one is inspiring and one's a shit. And I just like to point that out. Like, that was quite a moment. You know, when someone hands you a microphone, what do you do with it? Are you inspiring? Are you a jerk about it? And I would like to acknowledge people who are inspiring. And we need more of that.
I think I'm a little of both.
Yeah, I try to be an inspiring jerk.
Usually when I'm inspired, I do jerk.
Ooh, okay.
Bacon!
Just like that wasn't your phone. You were jerk. Okay, couple comments here before I go on with the next article. Mo says, following yours and Hemingway's advice, just poured myself a glass of communion wine.
All right.
Amen.
And by the way, Kevin, I need TP for my bunghole. That is the two letters, T and P, short for toilet paper, not the Indian tent. Just to be clear, don't put an Indian tent into your ass. I mean, or do, whatever. Yes, even snarf. I believe Chitara did even snarf. It'd be kind of like doing Danny DeVito. Who is the red M&M now? By the way, that's inspired.
Great.
Ian says, Robson Green of Wire in the Blood has been doing a fishing show and went to Cuba for the Hemingway fishing tournament.
Oh.
Man, I'd love to fish off Cuba's Gulf Coast. I would like to just bob along in a boat off the Gulf Coast and not waste my time with a pole. And that would be a fishing pole, not you, Elizabeth. I enjoy the time I spend with you as a pole.
Okay.
Gosh. Honduras is supposed to have amazing diving.
Oh, I'd like to do that. Countess popped in.
Hi.
If you're still here, hi. Hope your friend is better. She says, a quick hello, got a lot going on artistically and helping a friend through a super rough time. And then let's see what else we got here. Well, I don't know what the last... Social Assassin, Kevin, says, someone handed me a microphone and I spent 5 years with you guys. I don't, it's BI-winning. What?
What?
Does that? And the next article is, they have found a super colony of penguins near Antarctica. Basically, they've been sending drones over parts of Antarctica, and they found like 1.5 million... How do you say this?
The penguins are sending drones?
Yeah, the penguins. They've had drone technology for years, and we never knew it. We thought they were flightless birds. They invented something.
I think it's Adelaide.
Adelaide. Could be Adelaide. The Adelaide penguins living in the dun-dun-dun Danger Islands. They have been discovered, yeah, and...
It's like a giant formal party.
It's like the Titanic crashed there, and they all got off in their tuxes.
Everybody say hi, hi.
And by the way, P.D. Boersma, yeah, first initial P, middle name D-E-E. So P.D. Boersma says, it's always good news when you find new penguins. I don't think anybody could disagree with that.
I like penguins.
Unless you're in your territory. So we have a lot more penguins. Good news, guys.
Yay, penguins.
One more article I have to cover. Let's see. Where is it?
The ninja penguins. They're hiding out with the snow.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Now, this one is just some quotes I picked up from a news article from MSN, by the way. Trump quotes.
That's my penguin call.
The Chinese president. It's a pretty good. That's actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. The Chinese president, Ping, has just been... No, that's his brother. They've just removed the 2-term limit in China, so now he can be president for life.
Forever!
Trump was quoted as, maybe we'll have to give that a shot someday.
That wasn't a joke.
Not in the
Come
city.
It was. It was. And by the way,
he's not the first president that said that.
no,
Yeah.
Obama said it, or at least the people who followed him.
Obama
did.
didn't want to be president forever.
Obama.
He did not want to be president forever. As soon as he was elected, people are like, let's let him be president for life. That
was
job,
like,
tell ya.
Holy shit, this job sucks.
But supporters could get behind that statement, and detractors could whine about it. Now, regarding the leader of South Korea, right? Which one is Kim the leader of?
Little Kim's North Korea.
North Korea.
You should know.
Sorry. Trump. I know I should, but I blocked it. So Trump said, quote, in reference to Emperor Jung or President Jung or whatever he is, as far as the risk of dealing, pardon?
Rocket Man. Kim
Yes.
Jong-un, he's Rocket Man.
He is now. As far as the risk of dealing with a madman is concerned, that's his problem, not mine. Now, here's a bonus just for Ed. Hillary Clinton on Twitter said, saw Black Panther with Bill this afternoon and loved it. Beautiful film, lots of action, and great message. Don't miss it.
Whatever, bitch.
Look at Hillary and Ed just bond and agree with each other.
Whatever.
What does it matter?
She's still trying to get the Soul Brother vote. That's all. That's whatever.
Now, there's one
What
article.
difference does it make?
There's one article that we discussed that will expand into a huge conversation. Do we want to save this for last or the third hour?
Oh.
Third hour it is.
Yeah, third hour. The article.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit of weird news. Now,
I saw
this shouldn't be weird news. It shouldn't be, but I have to put it in weird news. So we're all familiar with the Mandela effect, correct? Ed?
Why don't you clarify
why don't you
for
tell
our
us?
listeners?
I'm about to. I'll keep it shorter for the audience if you guys know. So the Mandela effect was quoted 10 years ago, give or take, when everybody went, oh, Nelson Mandela's dead. But he didn't actually die till 3 years later when people actually recalled seeing his funeral clips on TV. And people went, oh, well, this has happened with other things, such as a quote from Empire Strikes Back. Luke, I am your father. Or
he says, no, I am your father.
Snow White, where she says, mirror, mirror on the wall. She actually says magic mirror
on the wall.
etc. There's other things like the Bearstein Bears or the Bernstein Bears.
Berenstain or Berenstein.
Right. It's the Bearstein.
It's Berenstein.
So now somebody,
if you build it, they will come. If you build it, he will come.
If I build it, I'll come.
If you suck it,
I will come. Paranormal consultant Fiona
if you swallow
Broom.
it as love.
Paranormal consultant Fiona Broom coined the term Mandela effect to explain the collective misremembering. Now, Broom explains the Mandela effect, this is the weird news part, via pseudoscientific theories. She claims that the differences arrive from movement between parallel realities, or the multiverse, which quantum physics theorizes, but there's absolutely no proof of it yet. So yeah, basically she's saying they're
Give it a year.
or that it's glitches in the matrix or the holodeck that we live on. Now, a third theory, and I like this one, it's evidence of changes made by time travelers as they influence history.
Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, one more theory. Elizabeth, you ready?
I'm ready.
There are claims that distortions result from spiritual attacks linked to Satan, black magic, or witchcraft.
Okay, I got a story about that motherfucker.
And by the way, I'll wrap up the article, then you tell your story. Cool?
All right, got it.
Okay, so yeah, there are psychological reasons that psychologists have come up with for this. They have actually produced false memories in people by going, oh, you were in the mall when you were a kid and your brother went missing. Do you remember this? And the parents agree, and suddenly this person is creating this memory, and afterwards they go, just kidding, never happened. And the person is like, nope, I have a very clear memory, absolutely happened. They're like, nope, never happened.
Because it's leading questions.
So, yeah, maybe quantum physics will give some light on this later, but then again, maybe we're just believing what we hear in the media.
Maybe.
Okay, what's your story?
All right, here you go. Now, my brother is a minister. Kind of came out of nowhere. We were all like, son of a bitch. You know, he told us he was going to become a minister. He was in seminary, and anyway, he came back with a bunch of interesting stories. Here's one that'll blow your mind. Okay, a friend of his.
And I will come.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Okay, his friend's on a plane, and he's a young pastor, and he's going to an event where it's like a prayer circle, only a lot of people get together, and then they bring with them names of people who are sick or people who really need help, and they pray 24 hours a day for these people. I mean, that's quite a commitment. Okay. Well, he's chatting on the plane, and I guess it's kind of a rough flight and storms, and so he ends up chatting with the woman next to him. And she's quite open with him. And so they only introduce themselves by their first name. And she's a witch. And she's not just a witch, but she's a priestess. Now, I know people are going to get worked out, but hang in there. She's on her way to her own seminar. And she has a list of names of people she's going to pray against for badness to be done to them and evilness to attach them. And she starts talking about a guy, and it's him. This guy is on her list of the people that she's going to pray against, that badness and evil come to him. And now, whether or not this story is true, it could be hyperbole or an exaggeration. Never forget that for all the good that's done in the world, there are people out there that are doing bad as well. Okay, that's my little bit of story there. Because some people do like chaos. Some people do like... Remember, in D&D, there's spectrum. There's lawful good, and then there's chaotic evil.
Don't play to the geek in me.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But it's the chaotic alignments, if you want to go D&D, they're not necessarily consciously chaotic. That's just their nature because they're not organizing their morality.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering, do you believe there are actually people out there who are genuinely evil, just out to do bad things on purpose?
Yes.
I think some people are born evil.
Yes.
Because Andrea and I were talking about this just the other night.
Ed.
I got very close to her.
Okay, I think we need to take exes out of the equation.
You met her.
Oh, but this was redeemed and we never did it.
And that's right, we have to do that. There's a difference between evil and crazy.
Yeah, big difference.
And Ed, don't forget, we do have your rant to do here in a moment. Hey, Von Hagner, thanks for joining us.
Mobile phone rant.
Hold on, do I have any more? No, I'm good. Ed, shall we cover birthdays and deaths, and then...
I'll do the rant real quick. We'll do the rant real quick because it's going to be short and it's not going to be what Kevin's looking for. Kevin's looking for how slow and fucked up cell phones are. I'm going to approach it from a different angle. And Elizabeth brought it up just a couple weeks ago. This is a fucking computer, people. This is a fucking computer. I hate it when I see questions on Facebook like, anybody knows where to find the best flannel on the internet? Google that shit! I'm done.
Nice.
Well done.
Okay. Who died? Who burned?
Let's do birthdays first. Birthdays. We'll do dead people. I'm sorry. I got it out of order.
Necrophilia.
How about dead people who are born?
Yeah. March 3rd, actor David Ogden Stiers, most known for his role as Major Charles Emerson Winchester on MASH. However, for the geek in us, he was in several episodes of Stargate Atlantis and Star Trek The Next Generation.
and Beauty and the Beast animated version as Cogsworth.
And he did a lot of voiceovers in various
he was
animated
also
things. Yeah.
Hunchback of Notre Dame as one of the gargoyles. Quite a bit. He's got a reasonable voice. Yeah.
Not so much anymore.
Why?
He's
dead. When did he die? Was that like 2 days ago?
That was March 3rd. Yeah, he died.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't hear about that. I thought it was.
He just said it. How did you not hear about it?
I thought he was still alive, so it didn't even register that this was announcing his death 2 days ago.
We got a new follower, Shirley Girl. Thank you, Shirley Girl.
Hey, Shirley!
Her this morning, I reconnected with her via Facebook, and she's like, "Why weren't we friends?" I'm like, "We were, but I lost a bunch of Facebook friends in October."
I me too. It's algorithms of Facebook.
Uh-oh, hold on. Elizabeth is sending it. What the hell is that, woman? He's moving so slow.
It's Wanker.
And pleasure.
It's for Kevin.
Okay, what's next?
Birthdays. March 6, 1946, rocker David Gilmour of Pink Floyd fame. March 6, 1972, Shack Attack, NBA player Shaquille O'Neal. And when I saw this one this morning, I thought of one of our old co-hosts that used to be on the show because she was a big pirate fan, Daphne. March 8th, 1702, Pirate Anne Bonny.
Arr! Arr.
March 9th, 1454, the dude that the Americas are named after, explorer Amerigo Vespucci.
Hey, Ed.
Yo.
Have you watched what
Black Sails?
Thank you. Yes, you have watched it then?
Every bit of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
We haven't seen the final season yet.
Yes.
Nice.
If I may interject, Amerigo Vespucci was a seller in Seville, Spain, of pickled vegetables. And he convinced Christopher Columbus to bring pickled vegetables on his voyage because when you pickle things, it boosts up the vitamin D and C and it helps prevent scurvy. And Christopher Columbus inspired Vespucci to become an explorer, and United States of America is named after Amerigo Vespucci.
The Americas, not just the United States, the Americas.
The Americas.
Let's not forget the people in the South. And
a pickle seller.
Yay, pickles.
My thought on this is, does Vespucci sound dirty to anyone else?
Everything sounds dirty. If you put an Italian or French
Queefing times.
Hamburger.
March 10th, 1940, martial artist turned actor Chuck Norris.
Ah.
Is he dead?
No.
Nope, he's still alive.
And kicking.
Texas Walker.
Hold on, checking for comments. Shirley, I see you're following. You should be able to comment. If you cannot type a comment in, make sure that you're not on the beta version, which if you go up top to where your name is in the upper right and hit that drop list, if you're on beta version, it'll have a checkbox. Uncheck it. But otherwise,
now you know.
Comment freely. They're all friendly.
Bacon jam.
Yay, bacon jam.
Do jam the bacon in me.
Jam the bacon.
I have birthdays. I have one more piece of weird news that I discovered today.
What the hell is that?
If you go to @KFC on Twitter, so Twitter, KFC's account is @KFC, and you look, they are following 11 people. And just so you know, in case you're wondering who these 11 people are, they are the 5 Spice Girls and 7 guys named Herb. So that's their 11 secret herbs and spices.
And Colonel lost some weight. I guess he laid off the chicken?
11 herbs and spices. Stephanie, who will be on the show for the cooking show told me that today. And I'm like, no, let me go look. And I'm looking. I'm like, Jerry Horner, Melanie Brown. These aren't. And then, yeah.
Oh, that's...
11 herbs and spices. Okay, my birthdays.
Yay, birthdays!
Let's see. I got to make sure I actually know who they are. Like, Nicholas Bauer is turning 27, but I don't know who Nick is.
Happy birthday anyway.
No, it doesn't get a birthday if I can't recognize who you are. Heck with that. No, I'm kidding.
You
Nick can
know
have a
who
birthday.
Abby is.
I know who Abby. I also know who Barry is. What is that? Oh my God! It's all creepy and scary. Barry, one of our steampunk brothers there, music.
Ah.
Chuck Russell, who I used to do reenactment with. Abby Perkins, that I worked. Tomorrow's Taco Tuesday. You want tacos?
Yay, Taco Tuesday!
Taco Tuesday!
I mean, you want tacos? My name autocorrects to Taco.
Whenever, yeah.
So every time it does that when you're texting me, just remember
Tacos.
that's me saying "eat me." Bear Graves, one of my pipe buddies. Let's see who else we got. Oh, there's Carmen Sandlin, who is the mother of Jess from the taco place. Catherine Hinton and Morgan Mulker, as well as Paige, is turning 52.
From
Saturday,
Steampunk
March
Life
10th.
Emporium in Surrey.
Bella Morte, Tony Lichmansky.
He's turning 12, right?
37.
Oh, he's a baby.
Fellow author Glenn Paul Richardson has a birthday on Saturday, and then Sunday, my pipe smoking buddy Linwood Hines, and then my friend. She is 32 already. Wow.
I'm sure she wants everyone to know that.
Yeah, she's 32. Joe Hammond, 32. She put it on Facebook. She wants everybody to know it. Bottom
Happy
line.
birthday, everybody.
I'm done. Too bad we
Left-handed,
can't share.
baby. Woo!
We need to be
Just
able to
blow it up and then turn the camera.
need to be able to share that GIF you put up with the crowd here.
Wanker, my wanker gift.
Okay, hold on. Shaky cam.
Oh.
That's courtesy of Elizabeth.
It's not like I made it. I just
You
shared
didn't
it.
make him? Oh, she can't see me. Okay, stop.
Okay, Ed, what happened next?
Oh, I gotta go.
We're done.
This is my reaction to it.
I have another theory on the Mandela effect.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, get ready. I'm going to go a little bit enlightened, and then no one will respond, and you move on to the next subject. Okay, so there's this whole idea of the stream of consciousness, and the Dalai Lama talks about it often. And, you know, in Buddhism, even the notion or a thought of anger or I guess badness pollutes the stream of consciousness or the universe. And they train themselves in discipline to not even think a bad thought. And so I think right now, to extend this, we are inundated in bad thoughts. And I was questioning this with the behavior of my students today. And when you see shows, and I think their family are watching shows like Atlanta Housewives or, you know, whatever shows similar to that, adults are behaving poorly and badly. Yes, exactly. And they're mimicking this. They are absolutely atrocious to each other. They treat each other as if mortal enemies, and there's no need for that when they're building straw bridges and having fun. Stream of consciousness, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, stream of consciousness.
I remember when Oprah was still on.
She still is.
And my son was 4 or 5.
On what?
Television. Weight Watchers.
One of our diets.
So, and I mentioned I wouldn't let my son watch Oprah. And people are like, why? There's nothing wrong with it. I'm like, because it's adult content. There might not be violence. There might not be nudity. There might not be swearing. But it is not made for children. This is not children's content. And they don't need to have that in their face as their example of how to think, behave, respond, interact. They need to go through other steps before this is presented to them.
Did you read that?
Yes, I'm actually about to read it out loud, though. There's a few more comments here. Ian says, folks have the greatest access to more information, good and bad, in human history, and they pay hundreds of dollars to post memes and play games.
Ian, I love you, Ian.
And then Mo adds in, by the way, Mo, one of our previous co-hosts also. Happy birthday, Jen Brown. I wish her good vibes and healthy recovery from her surgery.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Jen.
Okay,
Yes.
two things. Okay. There was an experiment done in Holland, and they found a dairy farmer did it. And when he played Barry Manilow music to his cows, they produced 30% more milk.
I listen to Barry Manilow.
He produces 30% more milk.
Plants are the same.
The songs that make the cows lactate.
Is it fat free? Or is it half and half? No, is it skim? Is it almond milk? Is it silk?
Well, it does involve nuts of some sort.
And they've done it with plants when they play certain music.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst is when they scream at plants, yell at plants, they deteriorate and they stop growing and they even die.
That's why my pot never grew.
That's why your pot never grew. You had to get away from your ex, man. Barry Manilow. I'm just saying.
And I think Kevin is just trying to get his name mentioned again. Social Assassin says, the fragility and innocence of childhood is a treasure to be preserved as long as possible, because it is also very fragile. I preserved mine straight into my 40s. I'm doing okay.
Cats.
Okay, let's see what kind of virus I downloaded from Ian here, clicking on the... Oh, yeah!
Oh.
God, that is a beautiful cosplay.
Oh, nice.
Oh, my goodness, that is awesome.
I just want to touch the hair.
I just want to touch Chitara. What? Oh, I forgot about that guy, the old tiger guy.
Nice.
Like the least important person ever.
It's always important. They're all important.
Here, Elizabeth, I'll put it, since you don't watch on Twitch, I'll put it here for you so you can check it out.
Thank you, sir. How most kind.
It's
awesome. Who are these people?
Well, that's Wiley Kid.
Hey, they're awesome.
Carolina and
I meant the people that did the costumes.
Damn if I know.
God,
Ian,
these are great costumes.
Right?
Where's Snarf? Fuck this picture. There ain't no Snarf.
Somebody had to take the picture.
You know, it's
Snarf has the smartphone right after Googling flannel.
I love the flesh-colored tights.
Yeah.
What sports they are. Wow. You know, I remember being in North Dakota watching Thundercats on a satellite dish. And I'm talking like the dish as big as a car.
Yeah.
Where's
had to
Virginia
plug in.
Wildflower?
Yeah, I remember.
Lawyers.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
What is it?
My lip stain is still on and not on my glass.
Oh, see that?
Excited.
Well done, Carolyn. Look how happy you've made her. Okay, so coming back.
You're on your goddamn cell phone doing the show.
I look at Talk of the Tavern.
Oh, did you go to Twitch?
I'm twitching. Yeah, but I'm thinking good thoughts. So the universe. And the other thing is, like, good ideas don't just come to one person. They can come to anyone. It depends who's ready to receive. So there you go.
I've received all kinds of good thoughts.
Yeah, that's when people say, oh, that script story idea was stolen from this person. Well, you know, is it? Can't copyright an idea, you know.
I have all kinds of great ideas, but I just can't bring myself to put them down on paper or,
Well, you hang out with me, I'll get you doing it, dude.
I'm trying.
Send them to me. I'll work on them with you.
Dorothalia says thank you, and sorry, was getting the team into the shower. We like cornering them with a broom and just kind of working. Get in there.
Like we do with the cat.
We don't do that.
No, they get in.
Yeah, we have cats that get in the shower. At least 3 of them will get in the shower with us while we're showering.
I have to lock them out.
Dirty
Anyway.
puss.
Oh yeah, what pussy?
Do they actually get wet, or do they
Yeah.
just kind of run around?
One of them will definitely get wet. I mean, not like
Cuttlefish the cat. He is a catfish. And it freaks me out because he will open the door and get in there.
Yes, he will. Another one will sit in there while the shower's running. Once we get in, he tends to get out. And a third one will get halfway in while it's running, as
And
long
just
as we're not in there. So, yeah, we have three.
Funny. Does
Three out of 8
he
cats.
does he clean your back for you? You know.
Only if I pick him up by the behind legs and go like this. Yeah.
Only if you tip him, right? You're like, meow, meow.
Last time I slipped my cat a tip.
Stay strong, Dora. You can do it.
Dora,
I'm just-
Dora,
Regarding the shower.
Dora.
Right?
Yeah. No, because Dora says, pretty much my autistic daughter hates the feel of water on her skin, so it's a challenge.
It's
Yeah.
much better than lava.
Sonic showers.
Sonic showers.
But sonic showers kill plants because it's like screaming at them.
Sonic like the Hedgehog?
Is it? I've been listening to hard rock music for the last month, writing the screenplay, and my plants are just fine.
And you're a dirty, dirty girl.
I am a dirty
I mean,
girl.
were you showering in them?
No.
In the music? Okay, do we have more on film festivals to talk about, or are we just on
We're
to the
almost-
F and off
We're
part?
almost to the third hour,
Then we could
where
talk.
we could talk about us.
We'll
Then we
talk
could
about
talk
that
about wet pussies.
Yeah.
You know what? I can bring this up right now if you guys want.
Do it.
Or should I restrain myself for 20 more
Yeah.
minutes?
Should I restrain it?
Go for it.
Okay.
Go
Hey,
deep.
hello? Someone who gives a shit? Sorry, wrong number.
She has
So now-
props.
Elizabeth, let me
Yes.
get mostly through the article because I know we all have a lot to say on it. So I want to give the information from the article first, and then
All
we'll
right.
set you loose. Because otherwise, I'll never get through the information on the article. And I'll agree.
Hey,
Okay. Good talk. Yes, Ed.
Before you get started, you might want to read the latest comment and comment on that first.
Uh-oh. There, Sirix. Let's see, what do we got here? Watch all your Mysticon vids. Yeah, buddy. My pleasure. Thank you for watching them. Oh, you're the music department. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, it was a good time.
Oh, yeah.
And that's part of the reason I specifically did the second montage. So it wasn't just costumes. It showed everything else there is to do, like the Rocky Horror event and the music, etc.
Because there's so much.
There is. And also just people in the hall in plain clothes, juggling or doing sleight of hand or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. Mysticon is, I think I can speak for both of us, pretty much our favorite convention. So, it's a good time. Oh, yeah.
And she left.
She did. I'll wait for the article.
Anyway.
And Sirix, I do have you on the list of people to contact to bring on the show, but I'm doing 3 contacts per week, so I make sure I don't have 15 people getting back to me at once, and then I get mixed up. So you're still in the...
And we will see you at RavenCon in April.
That's true. We will see you there. You got it.
Yes.
Okay, so I have an article here titled, and by the way, it's IFL Science. I fucking love science. With teen mental health deteriorating over 5 years, there's a likely culprit. So, around 2012, something started to go wrong in the life of teens. Just the 5 years between 2010 and 2015, the number of U.S. teens who felt useless and joyless, classic symptoms of depression, surged 33% in large national surveys. Teen suicide attempts increased 23%. Even more troubling, the number of 13 to 18-year-olds who committed suicide jumped 31%. In a new paper published by Clinical Psychological Science, this person, by the way, who is this person? Let me get their... I hate it when they don't put the article's author as a bio. By Jean Twenge. Okay, good.
Jean Twenge.
My colleagues and I found that increases in depression, suicide attempts, and suicide appeared among teens from every background, more privileged to less, all races, ethnic backgrounds, all regions of the country, all told. Their analysis found the generation of teens called, by them, iGen, those born after 95, is much more likely to experience mental health issues than their millennial predecessors. So they wondered what would cause all this. So they went through a bunch of surveys, large surveys with teens for clues. Now, this is not confirmed. This is pulling information from other studies and coming to another conclusion. But they found that all possibilities trace back to a major change in teenagers' lives, which is the ascendance of the smartphone. So between 2010 and 2015, steady economic growth, falling unemployment. So probably economic problems weren't the issue. Income inequality was still an issue. It has been for decades. Didn't suddenly appear then. So that gap between rich and poor shouldn't be anything new. Time spent on homework didn't change significantly, so academic pressure is ruled out. But according to the Pew Research Center, smart chip ownership crossed 50% threshold in late 2012. By 2015, 73% of teens had access to a smartphone. Look, I do the smartphone sign. That's sign language for smartphone.
Hashtag smartphone.
So not only did smartphone use and depression increase in tandem, but time spent online linked to mental health issues across different data sets. Found that teens spent 5 or more hours a day online were 71% more likely than those who spent less than an hour a day. So there's this gap of between 2 and 5, I guess.
Yeah.
To at least have one suicide risk factor. Now that's depression, thinking about suicide, making a suicide plan, or attempting it. Outside or overall, suicide risk factors rose significantly after 2 or more hours per day online.
Well, okay, it says if they're born during a certain time. You think that's because the ones that were prior to this I generation were able to live without technology?
I definitely want to address that, but
Okay.
I don't think this is exclusive to teens. I think this goes all the way up the age ladder.
Okay.
So two followed people, I'm sorry, did I miss a sentence? No. Two followed people over time, with both studies finding that spending more time on social media led to unhappiness, while unhappiness did not lead to more social media use. A third randomly assigned participant to give up Facebook for a week versus continuing their usual use. Those who avoided Facebook reported feeling less depressed. The argument that depression might cause to spend more time online doesn't also explain why depression increased suddenly after 2012. Let me see, and I'm almost done here, guys. Bear with me. A couple more paragraphs. What's lost when we're plugged in? So even if online time doesn't directly harm mental health, it could still adversely affect in indirect ways, especially if time online crowds out time for other activities. To summarize this, they're sleeping less, there's less face-to-face interaction. It's faceless interaction. It's not the same as this, even this. Depression and suicides have many causes: genetic predisposition, family environments, bullying, trauma, etc. But this is something extra going into it. And some vulnerable teens who would otherwise not have mental health issues may have slipped into depression due to too much screen time, not enough face-to-face, and not enough sleep, or a combination of the three. Again, not definitive research. It's looking at a mass of information and drawing a conclusion from it. It's a theory. It's a hypothesis. Okay. I'll hush and let you guys throw thoughts.
Ed, I'll allow you the first response.
Yeah.
I got you.
Well said.
Devnall.
It's
Night,
a
Devnall.
little bit. Oh, good night, Devnall.
We're talking about kids.
We're talking about kids, but
The children! The children.
Related to that, somewhat, okay, not just on the depression side, some other statistics I found out about teens and cell phones just this past week. 21% of teen drivers involved in fatal accidents were distracted by their cell phones. 11
almost a quarter.
teens die each day while texting and driving.
Did you say 11?
11
In the U.S.
in the U.S.
And by the way, this whole study is all U.S. based, by the way.
11.
11.
Darwin, what was it? Survival of the stupidest? Survival of the smartest? Die every day. All right. What else you got, Ed?
Oh, that's all I had. But, yeah, I would definitely say there's some relationship there between. Well, I mean, you got to tell them it's a fucking computer. They can't even figure that out. I mean,
people freak out. I've had a kid. He started crying. I saw him go through the anger, crying, denial, the whole. It's just a computer. It's just I understand. Okay, Andrea, I'll respond.
You want to read that comment?
Doris says, but for some kids who have issues, the smartphone is a lifesaver. My daughter has been able to make connections and friends online where she has trouble doing in person. I can see that.
How much does she spend online?
Yeah, do you limit her time on there? Do you monitor it? That could play a role.
Yeah, as we're saying, we're not condemning the use of smartphones at all. We're just saying if you spend more time on smartphones or computers than living life, you're not living life. It's got to be a balance.
I saw a commercial one time. I think it was for granola bars or something. But this parent and child were out hiking, and the kid kept taking pictures. And it's like, just put the phone away and enjoy the scenery instead of having to enjoying it through the phone. You need to experience life at some point, too.
And for her child, I can understand it is a little bit different situation. I assume this is the autistic daughter.
Yes.
Okay, so meeting someone face-to-face, there's an intimidation factor there that wouldn't necessarily be there between us. But for everyone else, I would have to say, are you really establishing a friendship online? I know for me personally, a friendship is seeing and being in the same room.
Yes.
Well, sometimes I know the internet has helped people with going through certain things to connect with someone else going through the same thing, but not having to really be there with the person. So I understand. So it has its pros and its cons.
It has its pros and its cons.
Dorothalia there says the daughter, has to leave her, again, the daughter's, or kid, I'm sorry. No, daughter, okay, good. Downstairs at night, has to turn it in after school until her chores are done. And that's called parenting.
That's awesome.
Right,
yeah,
that's awesome.
That's realizing you're not going to let them detract from what needs to be done for this.
Well, we were watching some trailers to a movie yesterday, and it's like, oh, I'm so glad the smartphone has this app because it can entertain my kids.
Oh, I'm suddenly.
Oh, he went off.
Yeah, she's doing something. Suddenly, I'm yelling at the TV. The fuck is wrong with you?
You shouldn't have to entertain your kids with this electronics all the time.
They were talking about going grocery shopping.
Yeah.
And now I can take my kid grocery shopping because I don't have to entertain them, and I'm yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
Because, I don't think you need an electronic device to entertain your kid when you... there's a variety of choices.
Involve them in the grocery shopping, too. I mean, if they're old enough to sit there and hold a phone, you could say, hey, let's read the list. Let's practice your reading. Let's practice math,
Tell me what numbers are on that.
Yeah.
Whatever. But also Dora says, but where she has issues with social cues, the online friends remove the visual cues she can't get.
Right, and that's where I get that for her daughter.
Mhm.
Right, absolutely. And I tell you what, sometimes it's nice for me to remove those social cues. Other times, online interaction can be more
I hate it. Right, it's confusing as hell to me. It's like,
Texting.
I can't see your face. I don't know what you're typing here.
or hear the tone, and it's
You
so
can't type a
easy to take them at their word when you can't read other cues and believe if they say, I'm your best. Uh-oh, Elizabeth froze.
She's just being very still.
Froze it. Squirrel. Okay, this is totally a squirrel, but somebody just said taking the kids grocery shopping and having Andrea taking part in the list, the math, and so forth. Does anybody play the license plate game anymore when they're driving long distances with their kids? I said that to somebody a couple weeks ago, and they looked at me like I was out of my mind. I was like,
no, because 4 teens every day are killed when playing the license plate by people going, why are you looking at my car and shooting the fuckers?
Don't point.
You just look and say, I saw Alaska. I saw California.
Now, Elizabeth, I know we have saved you for last because we know you have a couple stories that relate to this and a lot of opinion that relates to it.
Oh, wow.
So, and we don't even know if they match what we've said or are totally the other side of the court here, but I'm curious to hear. Andrea, did you have anything else to add to what? Okay, go on.
I think it depends on so much of life and parent involvement. Oh, my phone. Okay. I tried to find this article real quick, and I couldn't find it, but there was a Canadian study that studied the influence of smartphones on child brain development, and it was not just a phone, a screen, the flickering light. People need to realize that flickering light, the way that light operates, it puts your brain on a different level. It interferes with REM sleep. If you're having trouble sleeping, you need to shut any screen off an hour before you go to bed. They discovered that it was any kind of screen that you give a toddler, a baby, even babies near a screen, it's interfering with the pathways that are being developed in the brain. I did find a quick article. It says kids who use smartphones start talking later.
Huh.
Okay. Now, there's a couple disturbing things real quick.
I love how you say it while laughing. Thank you.
900 children between 6 months and 2 years old. You would let a 6-month-old stare at your smartphone? Really?
Not a $1,000 phone. No.
And a 6-month-old's gonna go and you would let your 6-month-old suck on something that's wherever it's been.
Oh,
That's a no.
Okay. Anyway, it basically said it's interrupting the development of language and ability to talk. Okay. I've been teaching for 12 years, so within the study of what you've read and we're talking about. Okay, the children I find that are the most intelligent, the most that you say, oh, what instrument you play? Oh, I play guitar, flute, trumpet, piano. They go down the gambit. They have limited television hours that the parents allow them to watch. And when they do watch television, it's film or stuff they all agree on. They are not left alone with a computer. The parents pay attention to what they're reading, what they're watching. I think this is the destruction of a generation or two. This computer, this malleable computer. The students in my class that I teach now have no attention span. They get frustrated easily. They give up immediately, and they want the next fulfillment. They cannot sit and quietly be bored. And as an artist and as a humanist, it is important that people are bored. It is important you get used to the sound of your own voice, of your own soul, and you entertain yourself.
Sit in silence.
Sit in silence. This is the destruction of generations.
Being constructively bored is a skill set that's very important for your self-development.
Yes.
And by the way, with my son, when he comes home, I go put the phone here, go do your homework, do your chores. At night, I says, leave it down below. He's got a loft bed. Leave it down below. You can turn the alarm on, but turn your sound off. So you don't hear the notifications at 2 in the morning and wake you up. Because the alarm, by the way, everybody, your alarm still goes off even if you have your sound turned off.
Yes. And remember, they have made this, and they make algorithms that not only, okay, you get a like, or someone says, oh, I like your picture. You get a little burst of dopamine. You hit a button, a little burst of dopamine in your brain. Oh, I feel so much better.
We talked about that on the previous show.
Yeah, you hear someone else's phone go off, you need to reach for yours. This is an addiction. You're being programmed. We are being programmed. It's screwing people up. As a teacher, I detest smartphones. I love the fact I can look up any word. I love the fact I can look up anything and research it, but it's being abused, and
it's no longer a tool.
It's no longer a tool.
It's an addiction.
Yes.
And I mean, I love that the mobile studio. It's great. I can record video, audio.
And I love your videos, by the way.
Oh, thank you. That's kind of you. It's, by the way, there's a bit of conversation here. Dora saying, I see people in the stores or restaurants letting their little kids watch iPads or tablets all the time.
And not talk to them. It's your child.
This is why they have crayons and coloring placemats in restaurants. Take advantage of it.
Oh, that's something else. Syrinx, previous said, don't let them look through your pictures. Yes, very true. He also says, feeling your phone vibrate in your pocket even when it didn't.
Yep. The phantom vibration, yeah.
Hearing it go off.
Okay, I got to say something about that. That is one of the, having MS, that is one of the effects of me. I often feel a vibration in the top of my legs, and it's like I'm reaching for my fucking phone.
You do.
It is.
Dora went on to say, my kids had toys in the diaper bag, no electronics.
Yeah.
Ian said, when my son and a friend or two would road trip, I'd let them choose which direction, and the places we'd find randomly would be so very cool. I never realized we had so many antique car museums.
That's a great idea. Let's do that.
I like that.
Just not take the kids.
Kevin, social assassin, says our kids are exchanging the power of imagination for prepackaged bite-sized clickbait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This whole conversation will probably be clipped as a highlight because this is, yes.
This needs to be a 3-hour-long discussion.
It could be.
It really does.
Elizabeth,
remember that for the planning session.
I don't know if you're getting to it, but you mentioned you spoke to other teachers about this.
I did.
And I would love to hear about that conversation, please.
Okay. Teachers are shocked at how kids have no shame or embarrassment. In fact, it was mentioned in these kids after the shooting in Orlando, how they say, we don't have respect for you just because you're older or have a title. We don't have respect for you. And I find that shocking that you wouldn't at least, number one, give respect to anyone outside yourself or yourself. Because when you're respecting yourself, you extend that to others. They don't respect anyone older than them. But children now...
That would be they don't respect anybody more than 5 years older.
Anyone.
Because
they don't respect anyone. I don't think they respect themselves.
A 13-year-old will absolutely listen to a 16-year-old's piece of advice. But once a 20-year-old is giving that 13-year-old advice, it's no longer valuable.
Because they don't understand.
They don't.
Is that advice from the 16-year-old, or is it a form of peer pressure?
We could debate that one, too.
They don't have a attention span. They cannot pay attention to longer than 6 seconds of Vine video. They are very aggressive now, and they're very much into mob mentality. And this is what's odd that's happening.
Social media, hello.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm talking to you. Okay. They will create so much noise. Yeah, exactly. You can't get their attention. You can't yell loud enough to silence them.
But you can't yell because that'll hurt their feelings and you'll get in trouble.
Well, I don't want to yell because then they know they've got me, and then they'll just keep me yelling, and then I fall into that loop.
Mm-hmm.
It's shocking. It's shocking. And once again, when I tell the parents and the behavior, some parents excuse it, some parents don't care. Another parent slapped their child in the face right in front of me and everyone else. I mean, just BAM!
Sorry to interrupt. Oh, go ahead.
However, he behaved like an angel today. So.
Ian said electronics are just like any other addiction. So as long as you remain moderate with its use, it's a good thing. You know, like scotch, fast food, or cigars. Won't kill you if you remember everything in moderation.
Not. I kind of agree, but
let me read the other two comments and then definitely go on.
Go for it.
Mo basically missed the last hour due to grandmother. Quick recap. Sorry for the bother. Mo, what we're discussing is the rising of the smartphone generation and how depression has increased with people getting smartphones because less direct interaction.
And the suicide rate.
And now we're discussing the whole change in behavior of children that are school age, etc. Searing said, and then Elizabeth, we're right back to you after that. Searing said, depends on the use of electronics. Is it a tool or a time waster? And as a musician, I have several electronics I would consider a tool. That would also include my computer. Absolutely. Okay, Elizabeth, thank you.
Sure, no problem. I mean, I somewhat agree with that statement. However, these are children we're talking about. These are children.
Yes.
And I don't care how smart your child is. I don't care how eloquent they can recite a poem over it. They're still children. They are not fully functioning adults until you're 25. Your brain is not done developing. And yes, this is a lovely tool. I love this tool. I have a lot of fun with it. I have a lot of education from it. But these are children. And because it's not like smoking, it's not like drinking. Smoking, drinking, drugs, you get an immediate effect of your puke.
I think Ian was referring to adults because we don't let our children have scotch, fast food, and cigars because they're way too expensive to give to kids.
Right, and I don't think he meant to actually have it as an addiction, okay?
Okay, then let's try it from this point of view.
Well, yeah, I agree with you, Elizabeth.
Okay, my first degree was social science. I was in criminology. I studied at Fresno State University. Fresno is the #1 pedophilia capital of the world in the internet.
Really?
Someone is always watching or reading when you're on the computer on the internet. And people buy their kids these phones and let them go willy-nilly on the internet, on Facebook and everything, and they never give regard to who's watching their children. And that is the scary part. There is no privacy. And the children are being lured through algorithms to spend more and more time on this, and they're not safe.
I think that's the moderation part.
I hope to God it is. But I see third graders running around with phones nicer than mine.
I was on the internet. I read a lot of articles.
You dirty girl.
No, I read this article this morning about these two girls. Well, it was basically about someone at an airport. And she was concerned about these two young girls that were traveling first class to another state and only had a small bag. And whenever she'd ask them questions, they would text and then give an answer. This is where the internet is.
That's weird.
Yeah, this is where the internet, can be dangerous without moderation or parents taking it away. The girls met someone online. Each told the other parents that they were staying at, the other kid's house for the night, and they were getting ready to travel to New York to meet this guy to do modeling. And it was a one-way ticket. It was a one-way ticket. They didn't know that. It was basically a sex trafficking thing. But the lady at the airline caught these signs and got the police involved before they got on there. So
what airline was it?
I don't remember.
Oh, that lady, that stewardess. Yeah, she's my hero of the week.
Was it a passenger or an employee?
It was an employee. You know,
Okay.
when
Yeah.
you go pick up your ticket, when you pick up your ticket.
Okay.
And remember, anytime you're on a plane, you're on federal regulation. Don't piss off the stewardesses.
And Dora says, my step-grandson literally doesn't have the attention span to watch an entire music video. He spends all his time watching videos, and it worries me.
Wow.
Social assassin, Kevin, then says, my kids are 15 and 16. Neither has Facebook. Their friends regard them as odd for this. I couldn't be happier.
Ah, Kevin!
So, okay, Elizabeth, you have more to go on?
I think, and I said this today in discussion with teachers, and, you know, I am very much, I truly believe in individual freedom. I truly do. It wouldn't break my heart, though, if in America they limited cell phone use to kids under a certain age. Like if you were under, I don't know, 18, you could only have a flip phone. It is truly detrimental. And people would say, oh, well, you know, would object. Come to a class and teach these children. It's frightening.
You know what? Stay home and try to teach your own child and see what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't teach your own child. You should have someone else come in and beat the crap out of them.
What?
Well, ever since Mike Tyson retired, he still has a fruitful career.
Hey, if your little guy needs tutoring, you know, sometimes it's instinctual to fight your parent. Sometimes they don't fight someone outside the nest. So
correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely correct.
I do tutor, so you know.
So you want to tutor me?
What
about four-door me?
Tutoring.
You know what? You know what's green and goes slam, slam, slam.
Andrea's going to give me the lesson plan.
So Elizabeth, you know what's green and goes slam, 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 slam?
Yeah.
Four-door pickle. Here's another dad joke for free. Where do horses go when they're sick?
To
the hospital.
Okay.
No, I'm totally kidding. We fucking shoot them.
What's green and goes 100 miles backwards?
I know all the second grader jokes.
Oh my God. I did the toilet paper
them.
roll, not make it across the road. Because it got stuck in the crack. But
Oh.
No, I just think this is beautiful, but it needs to be controlled. And letting your children have a computer in their hand without regulation. My parents wouldn't let me watch TV.
Same
They
here.
wouldn't let me watch Dukes of Hazzard because it was too stupid. I mean,
I'm not saying they're wrong.
You know.
Well, I mean, I was 6 and 7 at the time, so at the time I was upset. But when I got older, and they said no, it wasn't too violent; it was too stupid, and then I thought, well, okay.
By the way, Mo, who is 21 currently, hope you don't mind me revealing that, Mo, says, my mom always monitored my phone, but she never cared about my content, the foul language, the yaoi content, etc. She was watching for what other people were sending me, and she wanted me to be safe from cyberbullying and creeps. And she always made sure I knew that. And yes, it's kind of...
That's good.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
All right.
And whether you're an adult or a kid, moderating your time or your child's time on the phone, the computer, even video games, Netflix.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong with a cheeseburger. There is nothing wrong with a piece of candy. There is something wrong with a bag a day.
Yeah.
Of either one.
I want a piece of candy.
They're not healthy.
Want some candy, little girl.
Okay.
Okay. So the thing is, when we're in school, remember when you're in the playground and there was always some shitty person that, I don't know, destroyed your sandcastle or would pick on people and was just the mean kid. Well, when we get out of school and we get older, we forget about mean kids. There are a lot of mean, evil people out there. Just mean. And this is their avenue to your most innocent victims of society. This is it.
Yeah.
And their parents just give this to the children and just let them go out and the wolves devour them. You got to be careful out there.
Yeah.
Got to be careful.
Dora says my kids were not allowed to watch SpongeBob because it was too stupid. That way. Ian says, what about beepers instead? When it goes off, they can go to the school office to use a cell to return the call. Here's the deal.
Thank you.
I've told my son there is no reason for him to have a cell phone in school. There is no call that can't go through the office. And when he's like, well, our teachers let us listen to music while we do our work. I'm like, but you don't need to.
No.
Oh, well, we use it to look up words. Get a dictionary. There's other ways to do it.
The only case I can see a cell phone being needed in school by a child is if, God forbid, their school gets shot up and they need a way to call authorities.
Then have a flip phone.
But other than that, they need it cut off.
This is
the music.
access to the entire world. And people forget that.
Mm-hmm.
And not only do you have access, the entire world has access to you. And people forget that. Wake up.
And by the way, Kevin, Social Assassin, says, my kids aren't allowed to watch me because I'm too stupid.
I don't know.
I agree with that, too.
I think Kevin's delightful. I don't know. Maybe not as much as Ed, but he's not responding. So he's looking
Ed's responding. If you watch Ed, this is his. I'm annoyed by the whole topic because you're right.
Oh, no, I'm not annoyed by the topic.
You're annoyed by the not talking about it.
How did we get to allowing kids to take cell phones to school? I don't understand, because when I was a kid in school, they dictated to me what I could and could not bring to school. And if they told me I couldn't bring a fucking cell phone to school, I never was going to be able to do that. How did we lose?
Dude, when you were in school, they still had the rotary dial. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
people just want. Everybody wants to be the cool parent. Nobody wants.
No, I don't.
Well, they want to be friends.
Yeah.
This is Andrea's rant.
I was going to say, you are not there to be your kids' friends. You're there to parent.
But what about the schools themselves?
Wait.
I
want to hear
how the school gave up that control.
She'll get to that.
Okay.
Because that's the parents forcing, you raise our children, but you can't discipline them. Oh, you teach them, but you don't limit them. We will let them have what we say.
Yeah, fuck that.
I miss payphone hearings.
They should bring back spankings in school. They should bring back detention, because I don't think they really do that anymore.
They do detention, but definitely not spanking since the early 90s is when that quit.
I used to get in trouble for reading a book in school. But now you can have cell phones and listen to music.
I used to get in trouble for passing notes in school, but now they can just sit there and text one another all fucking day long.
Well, there's some teachers that collect cell phones in a basket and you pick them up afterwards, or you have to have them on your desk on silent, whatever.
But they shouldn't have to do that. And yes, payphones were once a thing.
And by the way, Dora's got another comment when we get a moment.
I can't see that far.
My daughter uses her phone in school, but I didn't let her take it till her sophomore year, when she often wanted to go to a friend's or something after school. I also have a tracking program so I could make sure she was where she told me she was. Yes. And once they hit a certain age, you absolutely cut all that loose. What age that is, that varies child to child. And sometimes it's not till they're, 40 or 50.
All right, so Travis. Okay. So today I'm at school.
Yeah.
All right, and I teach after school, and on Mondays, there's, something's going on in the classrooms. We can't go in the classrooms, so we have to gather in the auditorium. Fine.
That's scary.
So I have my third graders, because I'm such a delightful, soft-spoken individual. I got them threatened. They all pull out their homework, and they're doing no homework for the day, right?
Right.
And I've taught them, take advantage of time. This is your time in school. do your homework. And I'm there. I can help them because too many people don't speak English and I got to help them. So it gets cut off. And this is the photo I sent you. And this is also a problem. I can't lay it all on the children. This is also a problem, is the lack of focus upon the children. The dance teacher decides he's going to teach everyone dance. So he starts yelling and admonishing the children for having their homework out and trying to do it.
Smack that motherfucker.
Have you seen Fight Day?
I was ready to go up on stage and kick this shithead's ass. I was so pissed off, like, how dare you?
Yeah.
And he made them put all their homework away so they could do this fucking shitty ass dance. Homework! We're competing with the Chinese and the Russians and the Koreans. Homework!
Well, we're no longer competing with our fucking selves, are we? There is no competition there.
Fucking, I can't even, don't get me started. I'm
holding back on my swear words, believe it or not.
No, it's, I'm with you.
How dare you do homework in school?
Have you seen Fight Day with Ice
I'm
Cube,
writing it down.
Ice Cube and Charlie Day?
Is this a video or a film?
It's a movie. It's a movie.
I did. I saw the end when they duke it out.
Now, did you see the part with the little girl on stage? Because that's my favorite part. That's go watch the rest of it for that.
Watch it for that. You're welcome.
But yeah, there's one teacher wanting. She does a 50 Cent song.
No.
No.
It's not 50 Cent.
2 quarter.
Is it Big John?
Little Sean.
It was 30 Cent. It's
8 bits. Okay, Mo says I could take my phone to school in 5th grade, but that's because my dad is horribly irresponsible. I had to either call him to remind him to pick me up or call my mother and tell her Dad's on a field trip somewhere, so she needed to get me. My phone was a phone-only device. It was utterly uncool and boring, as it fucking should be.
It should be.
And then Kevin, Social Assassin, says, in regards to the dance teacher, he sounds like a cunt.
I live you too.
She's out.
Here's Elizabeth's face this afternoon at school.
Oh, dude.
I feel your frustration.
Because I told the woman in charge, I said, okay, we'll go up to the auditorium, but I've got all my kids ready to do their homework. We're going to sit there and do homework. She's like, yeah, okay, we'll do that. And then this fucker, and the kids are looking at me like because they were all excited. One group was going to draw, and I was going to come by and show them how to draw. One group, all they wanted to do was read. Another group was ready to do their homework. And that's that quiet moment we need. Kids need quiet.
They do.
Oh, God, they need it. It's just
no, they need noise also, but they need quiet also.
Yeah.
They need both.
It's so noisy now. I mean, I suggest to my fellow hosts and people out there, go home whenever you get a moment, turn your lights off, maybe put a song, an album you like on, but don't watch anything, don't talk to anyone, and just listen and be.
I have a CD that's nothing but birds.
We've also recommended go sit on your front porch and watch the cars go by, or sit on your back porch and watch the wind blow through the trees.
We don't have cars.
Leave the phone inside.
Mm-hmm.
Leave everything inside. Bring a drink out. Don't even bring a book.
If you're going to smoke and just relax.
Mm-hmm. We do that.
I'll get a whiskey and a cigar. You know what? This is an example. Ed was a great example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the ritual with your wife when she would get home?
Yeah, Ed, tell us.
What was the ritual you had with Teresa when she would get home from work?
Oh, we just said.
On the back porch for, I believe it was 2 hours?
Yeah, 2 hours. Or we build a fire. If it's not too windy, build a fire. Just sit. We may talk, may just stare at the fire.
It's a great practice.
Yes.
Whether you're with yourself or with the other person that you're always with, to just be able to do nothing.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to do nothing.
It's a skill.
It takes practice.
It's skill. Yeah. It's fun.
Oh, when we're done with this topic, I have another topic I want to get into.
Okay.
Did we talk about the Kickstarter?
No, that's the topic I want to get into.
Did we
Yay,
talk about
we're
who?
so in sync.
What's that?
Did we talk about what?
Kickstarter.
Oh, yes.
But any
You weren't
final
supposed to
thoughts
hear
on
that.
this, or do you want to still go on?
No, I think I've gone on
I
enough.
think
My
we
soapbox,
did.
I'm getting a nosebleed.
No.
Oh, no.
I'm with you. Okay, guys.
I'm going to get a drink before we
But
talk.
we'll save that for another time.
Well, you know, it's part of the we didn't start the
Let's
fire
tip
too,
over.
I guess. You know.
Now watch her chair when she gets up.
There's a cat on the back.
What's a kitty
And what happens if you let go of the chair?
I did. I just let go of it slow to make sure nothing is.
Which
was
one
allowed.
is that? Which one is that?
This is Zazzles,
Oh.
and Vignarin just ran out, followed by I think it was Goblin and Harry Housencat.
Oh, do they love Andrea?
Well, yeah, Vignarin is a 17-year-old who's being incorporated to the house now. And the other two just want to interact with her, but she's 17 and cranky.
She's in the kitchen.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, we'll spin that a little for you. Okay, so we ran a Kickstarter, as most of you probably know.
Oh, don't fall.
I won't. And I will be announcing the names of everybody who contributed that wants their names announced shortly. Not necessarily tonight, because I want to make sure I get them all and everything. By the way, if you're one of the handful of people that for some reason it didn't work out or the money didn't come through, don't sweat it. We still love you. What do you got there? Hold it right that way.
Other camera. There you go. Oh.
We did you. Kickstarter was a success. Let me pull up the
Yay.
page. We have.
You like us. You really like us.
We raised. Where's my totals? Come on, Kickstarter. I hate you. We raised $1,291 of the $605 goal. This reached one stretch goal, and I will be bargain shopping, so hopefully we can get more of that equipment. I went with general prices from a steady place that I know. So what we're looking at is possibly putting a few more shows on each week.
Yes.
Such as Andrea and I will be gaming one night a week.
Lego Dimensions.
Lego Dimensions.
Because it's my favorite.
Oh, Ian says we used to watch Prairie Home Companion. The kids on Sundays sitting around the radio. Nice.
Oh.
Thank you, Cyrix. Appreciate it. If anybody still wants to support us, you cannot do it through Kickstarter, but you can PayPal to Travis I. Sivart at Gmail. And matter of fact, there's the notification just came up in the chat stream.
Or you can even, we have Patreon, right?
We do, if you want to support every week. If you do it via PayPal, send it as friends and family, please, so it sends the full amount instead of taking fees out, because you're not paying for a service here. You're just giving money towards this.
He will not service you.
No. And I did have a couple people who did not have credit cards or PayPal accounts who took care of it other ways. So that is included. We're going to get the booster, the cellular booster for here. I'd love to do the gaming night, the British pub concept, where we focus on our UK and European friends and have a show at their hours.
A music show.
And then I want to do a Tuesday Tunes where, unless you get me drunk. Right. I'm sorry. I was like,
gladly get
what's
you
that
drunk.
relate? It's
The service.
here's to
In
that.
honor of the Kickstarter.
In honor of the Kickstarter, Elizabeth blows.
I am sure her neighbors love it.
All right, right, woo!
The neighbors love that, right?
Fuck the neighbors. It's New York.
Well, it is a sex store, right?
Heaven knows you already blew 'em.
That's all I
See,
gotta say.
flip that. 10:29.
10:29.
Blow and face stare. Okay. So I'm
Thank
thrilled.
you, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. After all the money comes in, is sent to us, I will start sending out what everybody has earned, paid for.
Nice.
Whoa, hey,
How you doing?
So some people will get a message on the bottom of the screen there. Others will get to choose a topic. Others will review your item. And 3 people will probably be joining us on the show for 20 minutes each.
Yay!
So, but I am most excited about doing new shows. The British Pub, the Tuesday Tunes, where I get to play a lot of that steampunk music that we used to, the indie music that people would send us.
Yeah.
And hopefully even have guests on.
Oh yeah, have like band guests, musical guests. That would be fun.
Absolutely. That will be a shorter show. They won't all be 3 hours long.
No.
But they might be.
The music one I could see being a couple hours.
I could see definitely 2 for almost any of these, but I want to see how they go, and then we will shorten or lengthen them as appropriate.
Maybe a lunchtime special. Did you mention that?
I did not. Now, Elizabeth, you and Andrea and I have discussed beer and a pickle lunch.
Yes.
We've also discussed a 2 martini lunch. So that is a possibility also sometime in the week.
Either way, lunch is involved.
All summer is open. I'm ready to do it.
Very good. Very good. It's and I will probably make it flexible for any of my co-hosts to join or not join. I will not expect them to be at more than 1 show a week. But if they want to be, I only expect to be on this show, Tim. Monday.
Better be there.
That's right. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Me too.
It's.
Are you horny, baby?
Hey, Jamin, are you still around? Are you still on? And the reason I ask, I'm checking the list now. I see the name is still up there, Skipper. If you're still on, if you have, since I didn't hit the levels to get the mobile equipment, I have one person who said they'd be happy to give me a soundboard. And I'm just curious, if need be, can I show up at your doorstep with a tin cup asking for the wires or any old spare mics you have? Because I'm willing to take donations of equipment to allow us to do more than we could do now. Not just from Jamin, but, oh, wait a minute.
Anybody.
Hey, look, Sirix is a music director guy. And yeah, basically your stuff that's sitting in a closet that you never use might be just perfect for us to grow.
Please sponsor us.
I am so done begging. I am so glad.
I would like to be groped.
Wait, where did that come in?
Whatever.
Grow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Though if you grope me, I do grow.
I thought you were taking volunteers.
I hate asking for help. I hate asking for money even more. I'm just used to doing it by myself. I did ask for help. So, see,
You don't have to do it by yourself anymore.
That's right. If I need a hand,
I got 2.
But so I'm glad this is over. Now, something else for the Talk of the Tavern crew. Ed, Elizabeth, Kevin, if you're still conscious.
Kevin!
I'm going to wait 2 or 3 months, and then we're going to reapproach another Kickstarter if we still need certain equipment. But it'll be, again, a small dollar amount. That's easy, etc. We'll visit that in a few months to see if we can hit that mobile studio or that PA system, etc.
I could use certain equipment.
I got your equipment right here, baby.
Your equipment's taken, and it's yes.
She shares.
Yeah, it's taken often.
Equipment.
Kevin's still with us.
He says, clinging in. There we go. It's, but yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you, everybody, for helping and contributing and sharing. That is contributing. That is helping, passing the word on, sharing the campaign.
Thank you.
I'm very excited because we're going to get a new microphone. So when we do interviews, you can actually hear the people and not all the background noise.
Yeah, that's after doing these past couple conventions with the video. Elizabeth, you said you've watched a couple. Have you watched any of the interviews?
No, I at the beginning, and then I got someone called. So yeah, I will watch this weekend.
It's
you-
good. I was gonna say they're great, but with all the surrounding noise, it's kind of hard to hear everything.
Yes.
So we hit a money level between stretch goal 1 and stretch goal 2. With the extra money, instead of going for everything I wanted in stretch goal 2, I will upgrade the equipment I use to do the interviews at conventions because it's a much smaller amount. So that money is still going to something useful.
Yes.
And this way, and the reason I brought up the interviews, Elizabeth, is if you watch them, you'll hear all that background noise. Some aren't so bad. Others are just horrible.
It depends on the vicinity of the event.
Oh, it's so hard.
I'm going to look to alleviate that, at least a little.
Sound such a pain in the ass. I mean, we'll talk about that afterwards.
Okay. I think James is actually, Elizabeth, with your filming experience, you might be able to suggest a few pieces of equipment.
I can suggest a few.
You-
When are you going to be out here again? Next year? 2 years?
This summer. I'm thinking maybe May.
Oh.
Well, actually, let me finish these classes, and then probably this summer I'll be hanging out. My writing gigs are looking like they're going to start taking off, so I'll be able to take more time off. And since hopefully, everyone cross finger, I won't be committed to the school system, I can write anywhere, and there you go.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, it'd be cool to do like a show together.
Oh my God, I am dying to get up there and cook and do a show.
Oh, we'll let you cook.
We'll set up the camera on a tripod and plug it in at the same time so battery's not an issue, and we'll just put it on the kitchen while you cook, and we do a live show.
And I'll eat.
While you're cooking.
Cooking and eating and drinking, baby.
There we go. By the way, Mo just posted to
Aww.
Facebook, tagging each of us, I believe.
Yeah.
Quote, whether you're by yourself or with that someone you're always with, end quote, is my favorite soundbite from tonight's Talk of the Tavern. It's not even a full thought, but it's wonderful. Thank you, Mo.
Aw.
Isn't that sweet? Did we make them all leave?
They all left.
Good job, Mo. Fucking get all emotional and moody, and they're like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
So, I'm still with the one
You're with.
Love the one you're with.
Stop. I don't know.
Do it. Do it.
What do we do?
I don't know.
I'm changing my lighting.
Changing her lighting to vulgar?
What?
Changing my lighting.
Well, I thought she had her headset on. How come we can't hear when she's bent over?
Who knows what she's doing half the time? It's very entertaining, though.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Hey, you know what?
No.
Nobody has cheered anything tonight.
Oh.
Can somebody cheer something? Because they have a new ranking system where you get to be number one.
Number one. Number one.
And I can't cheer for my own show.
I can't do it because we haven't got the booster yet, and I'm not on my computer. And
Christ.
You could subscribe for free with your Amazon Prime account.
Ed did that earlier.
And throw your bits at us. You don't even have to spend money, just watch videos.
No, isn't cheering and throwing bits the same thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Cheer with your bits. Throw us your bits. I think I like that better.
Okay.
Throw your bits at us.
Yes, that's better. Throw your bits.
Syrinx says directional mics are what you need for those con interviews, but with those, you'll need one for each host and also one for each guest, ideally. Yes, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for a unidirectional mic instead of omnidirectional, and I have a few ones that plug directly into cell phones and also can hold a lighting fixture on top of the framework that the cell phone is in the center of. So I'm exploring these options, but if you know more than me, which a lot of you guys do, especially on this topic,
message them.
Yeah, talk to me. I connected mine, but I have no bits. No bits! Wah! Mo's lost their bits.
Oh, dear.
You can get extra bits up above the screen. You'll see it says get bits.
And it'll
Click on
say
that.
watch videos.
Yeah. You gotta
I do
ignore
that.
this for a minute. You're welcome.
Get it. Get it.
Oh, if you've connected yours to Prime, Mo, go subscribe. Up top, the green box with the star that says gift a sub. Click on that. You can subscribe for free.
For free.
You don't pay anything.
For free?
We make money.
Yeah.
So
I do that. But you have to remember, I believe it's every 30 days, every month, you need to go back and hit that button again.
right, but they're now sending you reminders for that too.
Oh,
Ed-
that's good, because I'll forget.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Mo.
Yay,
You're
Mo!
awesome. Ed also subscribed tonight, and we thanked him not on air, but thank you, Ed, for subscribing.
Yay,
Appreciate it,
Ed!
bud.
Okay.
You're welcome, Travis.
You have to wear the eyes on your
Should
hat.
subscribe, you all.
That's because I didn't give Patreon my new credit card number. So.
Okay.
And Mo, for free bits, just go watch videos. You can do that now that you're subscribed, I believe.
Good night, Ian. Have a great night, buddy.
Bye,
night, Ian.
Ian.
Thanks
And we'll
for
see
hanging,
you
dude.
again. Yeah, next week, and hopefully in about 2 weeks.
What's next week?
Oh, gee,
Kevin Snakes.
We're
Yeah.
going to ask Kevin about his snake.
And he'll even show us his snake.
Yeah.
Or snakes, plural.
Yeah.
Or his cat with big balls.
By April 2nd at the latest, we will have decided which episodes we're putting on later in the week and what we're doing. So next week, we get to look at Kevin's snake. Now, the week after that, oof, dun, 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 Bill of Rights.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, I gotta get busy.
It's the amendment ones. It's going to focus on certain amendments.
Then we have a lot of guests coming up over the next 2 months or so. 2 months and a couple weeks. We've got 10 different guests on. So that's going to be a good time. Mo says, yippee, snakes. We have a snake now, a toilet plumbing snake.
That's a little bit different. That one's kind of shitty.
But
Sometimes it just gets pissy. I think Kevin passed out on the couch. I imagine him drooling.
No. Too bad his camera's not on. We can't watch it. That's funny.
Cue the Hamilton polka. I have yet to see that.
What?
Hamilton.
Oh.
Remember, Emmy and Aaron were very
Oh.
pleased with it. So, yeah.
I was very pleased with Black Panther.
Yeah, we could talk about that now. We saw that, Ed.
cool.
Andrea, you want to give your opinion?
I was very excited that there was there
Oh,
were
hold on. Any spoilers?
no
No spoilers, but we're going to give thoughts.
strong female characters,
Michonne.
and they did not have to be the main focus, main character. They were not in peril. They saved the day. Very happy.
Social assassin. Kevin is toying with his snake right now.
It's a little snake.
Hey, Kevin, do me a favor. Put like 15 of those up so they bounce across the screen.
Oh, that'll be funny.
So anyhow, more thoughts on it?
Not really without spoilers. Well,
I enjoyed the soundtrack.
oh yeah, really good
And
soundtrack.
the color palette they used. Not a dark movie. This is not... Look at it.
Yeah, it was. It was black people all in that thing, man.
I'm sorry. I don't see that kind of... Weird Al made
Hey.
a polka medley of Hamilton songs. Nice.
Well, there were Tolkien Whites in there
Tolkien Whites.
because they're from the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Claw as a classic villain. They did a wonderful update to him. I really liked how they did that. All in all, and I mentioned this to Ed. This is not so much a spoiler, but there was 5 tribes. They tell you this in the first 10 minutes that united, except for one. 4 united. The other one went, "Fuck you, we're going over here." And that you have the Panther tribe with their totem animal. They don't,
The Black
as far as I
Panther.
remember, they don't mention what the other tribes' totems were, except for the one that walked away, which was the gorilla tribe. And I am so pleased that there has not been a public outcry of how dare you put a gorilla next to black people, you racist bastards.
There will be now.
I know, you're welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think we all enjoyed it. Wait a minute. Black Panther was amazing, says Syrinx. Beautiful looking movie. Loved the Public Enemy poster in the background. I noticed that. And the Oakland connection was great. Yeah, it was. And yes, Mo, I think we all enjoyed it. I won't say it's my favorite Marvel movie, but it was damn good.
It was good, yeah. It was.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with it. The way they did it.
Yeah.
The way they did the characters.
Well, I'm just so glad to have a superhero movie that's not all done in a gray palette. You know, you have...
I really want to dress as the characters.
Well, they had some outfits that looked very Indian. I liked it, like the white one with the gold scroll work along here and the collar. And
I just love the costuming in it. It was awesome.
Elizabeth, did you see it yet? Are you muted?
I'm in the no, I'm in New York. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
New Yorkers
I've
can't-
been writing and writing for the
Busy.
last month. I've been writing and writing and writing and writing. I'm waiting for Netflix. Honestly, I don't see how. I'm waiting for Netflix, but I'll watch it.
Fair enough.
Probably like 4 times. So
We just the power was out and we couldn't do anything in the house, so
Yeah, that
We
was...
saw-
have
maybe.
sex or go see Black Panther.
it's cold in the house.
Yeah, the power was out for like 20 hours.
20 hours. It's cold. It was so cold all the cats slept in the bed.
I'd love to have a man in my room where it was cold for 20 hours. And what are we gonna do? I would love that challenge. Normally, it's just some bitch, old bitch in my bed. I'm tired of dealing with it. Me. It's me. I'm tired of having sex with myself. I'm done with having sex with women. I like to have some sex with men. Thank you very much.
I noticed that was plural.
Or the
Take it
angry.
as I can get it. Take it as I can get it, man. Please edit that out.
It's live. It's live.
Consider it done.
Oh, let me put the
We're
script
just
down.
flip it.
And so I said, I just put something on the Talk in the Tavern. I'd like everyone to take a look at it. This morning I watched a little bit of, they redid Planet Earth on BBC about a year ago. And it's the one with the iguana versus the snakes. And I just posted it. And it's extraordinary how baby iguanas are born out of eggs. They emerge from the sand, and then they have to haul ass from these snakes trying to eat them so they can get to the sea. It's extraordinary. I almost had a heart attack just watching it again. It's unbelievable. Are you watching it? Are you watching
The thing she's saying, edit it out.
What? Oh, what?
Nothing.
What?
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 What happened? So Mo said, also, I love the juxtaposition of Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther. One is the old conqueror coming back. The other is a new conqueror popping up.
You got a lot of horns.
She's horny.
Are you horny, baby?
Horny bitch. What can I say? All right, I'll go back to my phone.
No, don't. Just, she commented. Yeah. Anyhow, clip it.
Share that on Twitch. I can't share it, so share it.
What are we sharing? The thing you just put up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's a nightmare. These snakes come out of nowhere. I shared the short one. I watched the whole episode this morning. I was emotionally scarred before I went and taught the children.
So I'm sharing something that emotionally scars adults.
Yes.
You're welcome, everyone. And Sirik says Wakanda is going to be a big focal point in Infinity War. Yes, it is. Looking at the trailers, definitely going to be going on. Which is actually, it's kind of nice because they've destroyed enough huge cities in the Marvel movies. A battle in the middle of nowhere wouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Oh, just because it's a black person's village, it's in the middle of nowhere?
Settle down, buddy.
It is in the middle of nowhere. Just watch the damn movie. It says it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. Yes,
And if you haven't seen it, watch it till the end of the credits. Just watch it till the end.
Isn't it like disguised though? Their city isn't it like
it is. Yeah, basically, they had technology before anyone else. So once high technology, modern technology came out, they actually have a shield over the whole thing, so you can't get it by satellite, etc. And yeah, they were really pissed when white man figured out how to build ships and cross oceans.
Segregation, huh? So they're segregating themselves from the rest.
We're doing that these days anyway.
I'm segregating myself. I'll tell you what,
motherfucker. We got 9 minutes.
Who are we going to raid? I want to say whoever cheers now will be number 1. That's what it says.
We haven't had anybody cheer yet. So.
I'm trying to log into my computer so I can.
Technological segregation. Discuss. Third world countries versus first world. I don't think in America.
I thought we already did talk about segregation.
Sure.
We're creating. Okay, think about this. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Here we go. And here we go. Okay, so we've already had the discussion about smartphones and how they're dumbing down our students, our children.
But they're
they're legalizing pot. So we're legalizing. We're not only dumbing down our future generation, we're dumbing down our current generation.
The triangle saying beside the smiley face in the chat box are bits.
Carolyn.
That's how you cheer.
Yes, so the triangle in the chat box, Carolyn.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Now we're dumbing down our audience. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And we gave Elizabeth alcohol, which goes in that same theme.
I'm just suggesting that, perhaps I would not go against partaking at a party or having a good time, but perhaps, what we were saying about the phone is all about moderation, yes, but we don't have this capability. Parents are refusing to instill this upon children, and now we have legalized drugs, and we don't have this instill. People can't instill themselves. My family, we always have a joke: drink responsibly, drink at home. That's a responsibility. I just throwing it out there.
Let me ask again. I don't hear anything about segregation right there. Anything at all. Is there technological segregation? We'll start within the U.S. Now, my thought is no, because it seems any economic level has a smartphone.
Oh, yeah, in the U.S., okay.
Yeah, in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Has a smartphone at their disposal, no matter what economic level you're at. We're finding ways to get it. But worldwide, is there a technological segregation?
It's not technological segregation. My smartass remark was black students today demanding safe space on college campuses, which I really don't understand because it's like my dad marched to get rid of that shit. And now you want to be segregated again.
Mm.
Really? This is happening?
Yes, this is happening.
See, I've heard of females asking for safe spaces.
No, black students are as well.
Sirix, by the way, says, yes, those with Apple products versus everyone else. Don't worry, we're breaking that barrier down.
And we're segregating people who are awake versus people who want to be zombified idiots who have to be entertained at every moment of the day and can't think for themselves. So that is a form of segregation.
Now, that would be the doers versus the sheep. Isn't that a good segregation?
No.
No, we want the sheep amongst the doers?
We want the sheep to be awakened.
Okay.
No, good luck.
Well, I'm not saying.
Just don't count them, then everybody goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Be careful. Be careful when you so quickly write off
no.
a segment of the population. Be careful.
Oh no, I'm not writing them off. I'd love to write the motherfuckers off, but they're still there.
Okay, now Ed, what did you say? Hang on, I got distracted. Black students are getting safe spaces for themselves.
Yeah, demanding safe spaces on college
Ah,
campuses.
come on, grow the fuck up. Come on.
Now, do you feel that same way when college girls go, we need safe spaces?
Yes, I feel that same way when anyone says I need a safe space. Grow the fuck up, sit down in the boat, and grab an oar. It sucks for all of us. That's what makes us similar.
We've got our top three now.
God.
Mo is third with cheering one bit. Night Owl, which is Andrea,
That's me.
and Dorothalia, both at 100.
Woo! Watch those videos, get free bits, throw them at us.
By the way, for our viewers, anybody that doesn't know, Mo prefers the pronoun of they, them, etc. instead of he or she. And Twitch asked Mo if they're male or female, and they almost didn't answer or get the bits because of that. They didn't know how to answer that one. Pick whatever you feel most like today. Go with that. Just put yes.
It's not a true or false question. Okay.
Hey Ed, I have a question for you.
Question me.
When was the last time that you had a safe space?
Probably before I was born.
Every time
Travis and Andrew, when was the last time you were given a safe space?
Every time I come home and don't interact with people, I've created my own safe space away from the world.
All right. So I would believe that has made you a better individual by being able to handle the atrocities of life.
Well, safe space, you should be able to make your own instead of having someone make it for you. That's a big difference.
Now, when I go on Talk of the Tavern like we are right now, it's no longer a safe space because I am open to conflict or confrontation through the show. If I post on Facebook, it's no longer a safe space. And people who do go, my page, I can post what I want, you're not allowed to reply to me and disagree. Well, they're full of shit.
Yeah. If you make it public, you're open to everything.
Ed, do you feel Kevin, Social Assassin, says, I married my safe space.
I don't mean to sound paranoid or anything. I feel reasonably safe in my home.
Okay. No, I could go with where you're going,
Yeah, you know where I'm going with that.
Yeah, finish the thought.
There's, but the wolves are out there, and I'm not going to deny that. And one may come knocking at my door anytime.
Right.
So,
well, when we had the power outage, I mentioned to Andrea, perhaps I should make protection a little more accessible since the power is out. Because, and I'm like, no, I don't think anybody's going to come to this house in particular. There's better houses if they're going to get something.
Yeah, what are they going to take?
And if they did, it's a difference between reaching directly out where the cats can knock it on the floor in the middle of night versus having to open a drawer.
Oh, okay. Safe space like from bullets in the outside world?
There is none.
That's different. My safe space is just where I can go and not have to deal with shit for a little bit. That's what I don't know if that's what we're talking about.
I can be in the middle of a fucking crowd and be in my safe space in here.
What about you, Elizabeth?
Military brat, raised on the suck it up, buttercup. And there is, your safe space is in your brain, in your soul, and that's it. And I have lived a life of, I like the sound of laughter and joviality, and I share peace and love with the people I'm around. But there's assholes around, and I learn to deal with them. And you know what? Sometimes it's better to just walk away than to have to deal with them. And there's my safe space. You know what? And that's the thing I find so annoying now. It's so many protests and so many people yelling and screaming. And can we just acknowledge, like, as I said earlier, the plants? Can we just be calm? If you have nothing nice to say, then just be quiet and just be peaceful. and find some other way to connect with someone. Why does everything have to be angry and yelling and screaming and protesting?
It's the thumper rule. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all.
Or how about, if you can't say anything nice, make a nice cup of tea and share it with someone. How about adding positivity to the world and just being an ass?
I think we'll close on that thought. Join us next week. No, it's 11. We got to go.
But it's great. It's a great closing thought.
Yeah, ending with positivity, great way to go. Searing says headphones with music playing is his safe space. Mo's safe space, yes we are, is their best friend. And next week we're looking at Kevin's snake. So
that's his safe space.
Thank you.
There'll always be cats.
There we go.
Bye, people.
Here's to the friends that create the safe space that we love the best.
You're here.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought she was all going Roman, gladiator. Oh!
Secret ballot. I truly believe that, though. Why, stop being an asshole and just.
We're raiding Bob Ross.
Everybody join us on the raid. And.